Huh?
How have you decided which set?
Aquarium. Oh, la-di-da.
Buonasera. Good evening and welcome to this post-Halloween special of Fate's Grip. Hey everybody, welcome. Whoa. First of all, I'd love to say kudos to everyone here. Welcome everyone, and awesome costumes. I'm loving this. This is so cool. But Jordan, I must ask, do you need to seek medical attention?
This all happened once I saw your beautiful face, all rye-stoned up.
I made you bleed.
He's frothing.
I walked into a wall.
Oh, really? Geez, thank you.
Repeatedly.
Welcome, everybody. Look, this is episode 38, Moneybones. And let's start with some shout-outs. Let's get right into it. What do we got, guys?
Okay. Sheldon just looked at me like, it's your time to shine, Emily. As always, we have to shout out our good friends at Meeples and Dragons. If you were here last week, you would have seen that they actually stopped by to gift us all with one of the class glasses. For the last 7 days, we have been running a giveaway for you guys for one of your own class glasses. We will be drawing that at some point tonight.
Ooh.
Stay tuned to find out if you won. Thank you again to Meeples and Dragons. We love you so much. You guys are the best.
Yeah, thank you so much. Amazing.
So a special thank you to one of our viewers and a subscriber, Trav Prime, who last week, out of the goodness of his heart, made us some sub badges and some emotes as well. So if you're one of the... thank you so much, Trav Prime, for making those. Just out of nowhere and out of the goodness of your heart, we appreciate it so much.
Thank
and
you,
if you've subscribed for 1, 2 or 3 months, or 6 months, I think there are a few of you that have hit that 3-month mark, you should see a new shiny badge next to your name.
Fancy.
Yeah, and if you have subscribed, you should also have some new emotes unlocked as well. So just our way of saying thank you so much to the people who subscribe and support us. It means a lot.
On the back of that, thank you. Yes, please. On the back of that, this guy for actually going onto the Twitch channel and making those emotes available to those subscribers. Thank you very much, Sheldon. Much appreciated. What else have we got?
I don't know if anyone's been following the Twitch stream, but recently, Twitter. We had a Halloween party, and I want to shout out one of the people here, which is our friend over there, Preston, the lad paw. If anyone wants to see some brilliant costumes from there, well, most people are probably watching that are Aussie. If anyone's seen the Babadook, he came as that in a sweltering, muggy, hot day. And it was actually terrifying. Yeah. So check that out. You'll see some of the costumes that we might be wearing tonight. Some might be in better shape than others.
I think my costume is worse tonight.
No, you've done it. Good. You've done it justice.
Okay.
Mine looks worse.
Check them all out. They're so cool.
Hey, if you engage with us enough on Twitter, maybe we'll release a video of the Babadook doing a little boogie. Because that was equally as horrifying.
I don't know why, but when you said engage, I thought of Star Trek.
Engage.
Yeah.
I love that. The fact you went straight there, so cool. Nice. Anything else we wanted to talk about? Can I mention, or I don't know whether if you remember our lovely winner last giveaway for the dice that they won, sent us a reply. And thanking us for actually receiving them. So the winner for our dice was
Arca Liago or something.
Arca Liago, and he received the dice, sent us a lovely message. So I hope you enjoy those dice. May you roll 20s, 12s, 10s, unless you're rolling a
D12.
Ooh, yeah. What was it?
D12.
A D12. Yes. May you roll the highest in all your dice, unless you're trying to avoid doing so. Excellent. All right. Is that all we got?
I think one other shout out I'd like to do quickly,
Please.
just for the females. Any girl with long hair. This isn't great. It gets in my eyes and it's really hot.
Do you want to explain who you are?
Do we want to do a round robin?
Please.
Yeah. I am dressed as Abby from The Last of Us. Missing some of the guns, but here I am.
Similarly, I am also from The Last of Us, dressed as Ellie. I wish I had my tattoo on tonight.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
was
so much.
good.
It's still coming off.
You can see that on the Twitter.
Someone asked if I was
Yeah.
cold today, and I was like, no, this is just Sharpie.
I think I'm attempting a season 4 with Grimes, and I brought my gun.
Nice.
Cute.
Excellent.
Leftovers from a Joel costume from The Last of Us turned zombie.
Hey!
Love it. Excellent.
I'm a Hufflepuff student.
And what does your wand do?
Meow.
Ooh.
Yeah, yes.
When I press it, it meows. Meow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Didn't get that before.
And
magic.
I'm a cleric of Ado, and so if you've watched some of the older streams, you know that's the deity that Thulrom follows. Also, it's very hot behind this mask, so I'm going to lose it.
But you looked amazing, and you'll still look amazing. I am a face of rhinestones. That's me.
That's it.
That's all I am. I look for what you said before, Rook. I'd like to also think I am a Doctor Who equivalent from Diamante World.
That's it.
Like
Yes. Fish fingers and custard. For anyone out there who knows, that's a Matt Smith classic saying in Doctor Who.
I'm more frightened of our DM than I've ever been.
Fish fingers
Again, if you
and
get on the Twitter and see what he was
Oh
wearing,
my god,
then-
no, that was horrifying. That was so scary.
It was
I
basically
don't know
like
why it was scary, but it was.
no idea.
It was the approach.
It was the approach. No.
Yeah, it
Thank
was
you.
the...
It was
the way you walked in through the
whole
door.
ensemble.
Oh, okay.
The active approach.
So, in with that, let us come together, and if no one else has got anything else, let us recap. So, recapping episode 37. You found your way out of the shifting world of Dalcor, and with the guiding light of Ilyanar made your way through the many ghosts that seem to inhabit the material plane and the other planes of existence. The obelisks of solid emotion passed you by, and you were surprised to see a solid being in this place, a traveller who pleaded for help. The half-orc, Dench, accompanied you down an endless tunnel, falling into the black impossible. However, you woke, back in the arms of the ladies' temple, and after speaking for some time and making sure Sarivia and Osei were well, you headed back to the Inn of the Golden Sun, being aware, however, that Feriso has asked for your presence. You are, and watched a suspicious-looking elven woman within this inn beckon Thulrom to speak to him privately, and with Rook and Amara hidden close by, you were greeted by members of the Boromar clan, a thieves guild who insisted you perform an unnamed favour for them in exchange to have a diseased, captured dwarf, inflicted by the Red Death, the poison ravaging the Mror holds, brought to you. Quickly, attempts at harm were made, and we see Thulrom locked arm in arm with the halfling before him, and hurried sounds of footsteps as we enter. Halflings from hidden alleys suddenly burst forth, and in the evening light, Thulrom looking out, and Rook looking out, and Amara looking out, you see footsteps. You see feet, and in alleyways, hidden, you also see other members of this clan. So, coming in to this scene, this halfling holding your arm while you have his forearm. Hey, what do you think you're doing?
So I'm going to turn to my invisible companions.
I think invisibility would have worn off on me by now.
A minute has passed, and you do
But I do have pass without a trace, so I'm still sneaky.
make a stealth check.
Make a sneaky check.
Please do.
I believe I was hiding.
You were, but you can still maintain your stealth from last time.
Am I able to?
What would you like to do?
So I'm downstairs in the main area, I think. And
You
you're
are.
close by.
You might not be able to see.
And Gunnar is hidden.
Yes, you are behind that
Behind a
plant.
plot.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm nowhere near those guys.
No, correct.
It was a 30.
A 30? Okay.
Can
That's
Can I see?
good to know. Make a perception check.
Can I quickly contact?
I don't
Sure.
think It's possible for me to see you. with
Nat
that
20
backdrop.
will.
I'm talking to my
Nah.
Mara. Mara. Do you need backup now?
Oh no.
You can respond. Baby.
A second
This is
time,
me.
a little nervously. So a second time, a little nervously, I go, a little help. Now would be the time.
Alright. Am I able to do something?
What would you like to do?
I'm going to, after hearing that, yes, maybe, not baby. Yeah. Alright. I'm going to quickly look at Dash.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to look at his name. His name on the
No name on the overlay.
Amazing.
We're going somewhere quickly. Are you ready?
I believe I was taking full advantage of the buffet. At
You
the
sure
time.
were.
So
I don't really
Bits
pay
and
attention
pieces.
to whether he's ready or not. I grab a dimension door.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
I'm going.
like a ham in his.
I'm going to land straight in the middle of that room.
In the middle of the room?
Because I know the layout of the tavern.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're going from where he's seated
Yep.
to the middle of the inn, inside
No,
the inn.
to the middle of.
They're on a balcony.
They are just outside the door,
Yeah.
outside the inn.
Yeah.
So you're going.
They're just outside. The
Just
inn? I thought
outside
they
the
were
inn.
upstairs at near room 7.
No, they had gone outside the door.
Okay,
to
but
the
we still can't
entrance.
see where they are, right?
No, you did notice that they had gone to the right, but
Yeah.
you don't know how far.
Right.
Can I ask? This is an alleyway, isn't it?
Outside? No, it's not. It's in fact a small plaza that has. So as you entered this particular district of Upper Central, in front of you directly were just a wide open space with this large inn in front of you, the Golden Sun. On the outside were a mishmash of different smaller buildings.
Okay.
And remind me. So he's essentially.
Awkward ending up in room 7.
Oh no, you can change that. That's right.
Yeah.
With knowing the environment once more, you can change that.
Yeah. Okay.
Thulrom's essentially grappled, is that?
Looking at him, you're not sure if he's can easily get out of this grip, but there's a hold there.
And are the others encircling him?
This older woman, this elf, has now looked around. She's starting to turn and starting to dart away. Looking around, make a perception check if you haven't already.
So while he's doing that, still I made that communication.
Sure.
Anyway, I'm like grabbing Dash. Like, we're going, and then I'm going to take off in that direction.
Okay, so you're going to
That's
appear
all you guys
outside.
do. Yeah, not appear now because the thing is like you're not in that room. There,
Yeah.
you're outside, so I can
Outside.
just actually head outside.
Okay, so you're running out, so you're not using
Yeah.
that spell slot.
Yeah.
Okay, good to
Yeah.
know. So you take. What are you doing as you feel Barclay's strong arm?
I'll be going because I'm aware of how important he seems to think this is, but I'm still taking a couple of bites from the food.
All right, yeah,
We're going.
you see a very reluctant Dent just trying to stuff a couple morsels back into his mouth. This large jaw just crunching down on bone and meat, and you are racing out. What did you get for your perception check, Rook?
17.
17. Looking around in the darkness of the evening, a full moon in the air, you do see hidden behind some corners of these buildings, maybe about 3 or 4 halflings in dark cloaks that are starting to draw and put a bolt into heavy crossbows. And you do hear other footsteps, probably another maybe even 5 or 6 other pairs of feet in other corners of this plaza. So you are coming across a few of them.
Is there a way for me to get into an advantageous position on like a balcony or?
You can try. The closest other building is probably about 25-30 feet away, and it's a double story. Looking at it, the front door appears to be closed, but the roof is a flat roof.
Is this along the like area that I'm in, or am I crossing the street?
You'll be going basically adjacent to, parallel to the inn, on the right.
So I'd be crossing lights and things like that. Or?
You'll be crossing a small alley.
Okay. I'm gonna ready an action.
Yep.
And if I see any of these bolts throwing archers get ready to take aim and throw, I'm gonna use that to attack.
All right. What are you doing, Thulrom? Remind me again.
I'm just standing there, and this guy's grabbing my arm. So he's got me. He's touching me.
He's touching you at the moment. As you remember, the very last thing you felt is this weird set of spikes from the glove trying to embed itself like thorns into your wrist, but your natural scale armor resisted that.
So I'm gonna look around and notice that nothing's happened and go, it looks like it's just the two of us. Well, you and your companions.
Yeah, they come to help me. If you don't let go now, they're gonna do you some pain.
Alright, I will let him go, and I'll say, I'll let him go, and I'll put my phone on silent. I'll let him go, and I'll say, alright, lead the way.
As you watch, Gunnar, you see Barclays and Dench just scurry and go out of the doorway. Barclays, you and Dench are just burst through the front door, and you see directly in front of you now Thulrom and this short halfling staring down at each other. And you did hear Thulrom say that, lead the way. While you see that, you also spy Rook just readying a bow and an arrow. Then you also see the same thing. Amara, remind me again, you rolled a 30. None of you see Amara. What do you want to do? You're quite close to the door as well, and you spy. Make a perception check.
You should pick a few pockets first.
No, I don't do that. Ugh. It's an 11.
11. You just see the scene in front of you, and Barclays and Dench burst forth. Do you want to do anything at the moment, Gunnar?
No.
Okay. Okay. If that's how it's going to be. You're a smart little Dragonborn. I respect that. But hey, where I lead you, you have to follow. Capiche?
Yes, capiche. Lead the way.
I don't know what you just said, but be warned. My friends, they're around us always. You and your friends, they can follow. We just want a deal. That's all. Nothing too crazy. You all hear this now, except for you, Gunnar.
What time of day is it?
It's evening now. It's past. It's about dinner time. Any more of your friends hidden around that you want to share?
I look behind me, and who do I see?
You see everyone but Amara and Gunnar.
Yep, that's all of them.
Make a deception check.
Does he see me as well?
Yes.
What did you roll for your stealth? Sorry.
I think it was like a 24.
Oh, in that case, no, you don't see Rook either.
Alright. So that is a 19.
19 for deception.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Hold on, is that a... Oh, okay, all right. Okay then.
He said a 90. Just for
Oh,
the
90?
record.
90.
90, yes.
Got it, okay. Okay. If any more of your friends show up, just tell them. We'll be at the butcher shop, just down the way.
Is this stuff that we can hear?
Yep, you can all hear this.
Beautiful. Take you to the butcher shop.
Oh my god. All right. What would you like to do?
I'm just going to be keeping an eye on this halfling, just observing him while mugging on the last of this meat, and just keeping an eye on what the other guys are doing.
Anyone else want to do anything currently?
I want to hang back and like kind of let them leave.
Yep.
But follow.
Yep.
At a distance.
Yep.
Where I can, I would like to shadow jump.
Okay. There are shadows everywhere.
Fuck yeah.
Natural shadows that the moon is easily producing.
So I want to be like.
Now, as you land in each of these spots, you do appear briefly for a moment, don't you?
So yes, but technically what I would say is that if I was attacking, I would be getting advantage on the first hit as
Correct.
it's a surprise.
Yeah, correct. What about people detecting you? So
Yeah.
every time you land, they can roll a perception, I would imagine.
Yes.
Good
I
to
still
know.
have pass without a trace.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and that. What did you roll for your stealth?
30.
So yeah, that can stand for a while.
Beautiful.
So
I think it lasts an hour.
sure.
I'm also going to try and maintain my stealth and follow.
Yep. Okay. Okay. So the halfling just uses one small, fat-fingered hand with white hairs on the knuckles to smooth down this oily, dark brown hair. Spits in it. Holds his hand out to you, Thulrom, and says, "Okay, a deal. You follow suit. Your friends follow. You don't do any funny business."
I spit in my hand. Like it's a lot. It's like a full dragon spit. I give him a hearty shake.
Maron. Oh. I like you. Okay, let's go. And with that, he starts to go down this short couple of steps from the landing of the inn.
Short.
And as you watch and as you follow quite close behind, Barclays, are you following as well?
Yeah, I mean, has Thulrom like looked back or anything? Say, hey.
You can do what you like.
Yeah, so I turn to the few that I can see. I say, "You don't have to come, but I would appreciate the backup." And I turn and project my voice down the alley. It would be hard for me to kill all these halflings on my own.
Are you using a spell for that?
No, I'm just saying it loud.
Okay, make a perception check, Gunner, please.
$18.
18, you hear that. Absolutely. From outside, you hear Thulrom's quite booming voice, and it does echo the plaza itself that you entered. As you entered, you realized that it was pretty empty. So the voice traveled. The door is slightly ajar anyway, so you did hear that.
That old lady, did she run back inside or did she run off?
You notice that she has run back inside and has started to go up the stairs to one of the rooms. So she's sort of halfway up the step as you hear Thulrom's voice.
Can I ask, am I still near the door?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Just, I don't know. If
Go on. Did you want to say anything, Rook?
I'll wait for
Okay.
her to.
Yeah, that's okay. Gunner, did you want to do anything at this point? Just making sure you weren't waiting for me, that's all.
No.
Yep, okay.
So Gunner's still in the tavern.
Gunner's still in tavern as far as you're aware, yes.
I'm going to enter back into the tavern.
Okay.
And just going to walk in, I guess, through the back alleyway door of the tavern, I think, that we exited.
Yep.
Came through the back. Look into, you're in the restaurant area, I guess, from last time, remember?
Yeah.
The last you remember, but then you didn't see where he had gone.
Yeah,
From
so
there.
I'll head in there and try and look for him.
Alright, make an investigation check
I
for
think
me.
he's the only one I haven't seen
Yep.
go through.
You're still hiding behind there? Cool. Make another stealth roll if that's okay. Just to verse it.
Investigation, was it?
Yeah.
16. Rolled high.
Okay. All right. So higher than the 16.
I rolled a natural 19.
Oh, got it. Rook,
20
you look around for a bit, but there's just no sign of the little gunner.
I'm in a pot plant.
Well, I have no... Okay, I'm going to use locate object. And I'm going to look for his hat.
Oh, wow. Yeah, as you close your eyes and you concentrate for a moment. What's the casting time?
It's an action.
Yep. Your senses expand and it's like a wave of energy, like a bubble expanding from you, and then to your right, as though a little ding appears in your mind, and you look over and you see a silhouette, almost a lovely small billowing of recognition.
So he's like just a couple of feet away from me.
He is. He's really not far away from you at all.
Jeez, I'm kind of like confused that I couldn't sense him in that situation. Gunner!
Yes?
So is your head just peeking out of the barrel or like behind it?
But it's behind a pot plant.
I'm in a pot plant. I'm inside the pot plant.
How did you fit in there?
I'm little.
It matters not. Thulrom was in
You asked the
trouble.
question.
I'm just confused as I could not find you, but Thulrom's in trouble and the rest are in pursuit.
Okay. What's the plan?
As of now, we don't have one. All I know is that there's some halflings that... Ooh, can I ask Dan a question?
Yeah.
They don't look familiar to me, do they?
No.
I think from like, yeah.
You know they are from a clan or a thieves guild called the Boromar, but you're not sure as to them personally.
So it was a gnome first or a halfling?
Well, halflings.
Halflings. There were some halflings associated to the Boromir clan that have taken him. They're heading towards the butcher shop located close by as pursuit.
They captured him?
Yeah. Captured it and then asked him to go with him.
Wait, so...
There were others in the street that I noticed loading crossbows.
So he didn't go willingly? Is that what you're saying?
No.
No, okay. Well, I'm not really, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't have a lot I can do now, because I was ready for bed. But what do you want to do?
Tell me, I know that you're interested in my locate object.
Are you trying to bribe me right now? Is that what you're doing?
Abilities, have you mastered that yet?
No.
Then maybe for the
I'm
best-
close. I'm really
maybe it's for
close.
the best that you come with us now. I'm not too sure of the... I'm not too sure of this area, am I? No. I'm not too sure of the surroundings of this area, and every moment we spend here is one less moment.
Where's the
we lose
Mara?
them. They've all gone.
Oh. Well, how are we going to find them anyway, then?
I know that they've gone to the butcher shop, and they're only just left.
Okay, alright.
There may be still a few stragglers that had the crossbows. And yet still I can still perhaps find Thulrom with what he's wearing.
I think from proximity point of view, we're probably standing next to you.
He's in the inn.
He's in the inn, but he's in the doorway though, isn't he?
No, he's gone
he's
into it
Okay.
first.
He's gone in the
We're
inn.
just still
In
out
the
there.
inn.
You guys at
You
this
guys are
point
following.
have started to follow behind Thulrom, unless you did want to do something else, because you did see. Well, actually, no, you didn't see Rook go in, but you did see the door open and shut.
Yeah.
But if you want to do something else, please feel free.
I would like to telepathically communicate with Thulrom, and I would like to say, cough twice. If cough twice, if you mean it when you say we have to kill all of these halflings. I'm gonna say back again. Was that twice or 3 times? Yawn if it was twice. What the hell are you doing? I'm gonna say this one. I'm gonna say. Fuck. In his head, he just says, fuck. Thulrom! Clap 3 times if we're going to kill all of these halflings.
I turn to the halfling in front and I say, if you guys get out of line or you do anything funny, I might just clap 3 times and kill you. Just like that.
Okay.
Okay, we're a funny bunch of people, but you'd be harder to try. But have the rest of your party come through?
I look and I go, yeah,
Good.
we're here.
How many halflings can I see?
So as you are looking, you see that out from other secreted areas, flat roofs, other corners, more and more halflings appear, all fairly well armed. You see, probably counting them, you see around about 20. Probably about half of them with what look to be either hand or heavy crossbows. And the other half to either have some sort of melee weapon, throwing daggers, things like that of nature.
Are they all walking like together, or
They're
are
all
some of them walking behind?
They're all
or-
starting to congregate around Thulrom and this one halfling that's in front. It's sort of in a V shape, starting to move in, like a flock of birds from both sides of you.
Would you say like a flock of seagulls?
Like a flock of seagulls, yeah.
Pigeons.
But they're staying apart from each other. They're probably a couple of meters apart from each other and staying behind you. Bolts in the crossbows at the ready, fairly well hidden in the moonlight as well.
I say out loud, how is the guard letting you just walk around like this?
Oh, we pay him.
They are remarkably ineffective.
No, just the ones that we've befriended.
I'm just saying. We were at the aerial jousting when it was attacked. You may have read of our exploits in the paper.
Oh, we've read all about it. In fact, it was us that made sure the newspaper put you guys in there. We have pull.
Oh, okay, thank you. I actually did appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
Now, we're just gonna slide that under the table there. You don't need to owe us anything for that. But just so you know, this deal has to go through, or your reputation is gonna go down.
I don't know if you have heard of me, but my reputation can't really go down.
We'll see. Okay, boys and girls, we're nearly there. You've walked only about a block or two. In the meantime, Rook and Gunner.
If you wish to stay, you can. That's where we are wasting time.
No, I said let's go.
Then let's go.
So you
I'm
guys,
waiting for you to take me there. I don't know where I'm going.
you
Sorry
guys,
about that.
you guys spring forth
Yeah.
from the inn as well, leaving the elven lady in the Golden Sun. Now you,
I'm a little bit worried about leaving her though. She ran back upstairs. Maybe we should get her. Like,
I feel like there's something.
the elven lady, the elven innkeeper,
Yeah.
seemed to have been part of the reason why Thulrom went into that predicament, and
That's
she
right.
seemed to be a part of the Boromar clan, in either as a fully fledged member or a hired person. You're not sure of her allegiance, but she is the one that was in the inn and looking quite shifty.
Yeah. As long as they haven't travelled too far, we can investigate this.
You're in charge.
Let's go with what we know. Let's head outside.
So you both head out, and you do see in the far distance this group of halflings. From your count, 15. Both of you notice that they are a fair ways away now. They're starting to become a little bit harder to see, but they're the only population in this area. Everything else around you, eerily silent. Doors to houses shut. The lights inside these houses extinguished.
Can I ask a really specific question, just an elaboration to what I asked
Yeah,
earlier?
definitely.
So they're all gathering around Thulrom. Are they like a cluster like this, or are they like...
They're spread
little
out
bit.
behind in
Good.
two lines.
That's what I want.
In two lines. So sort of like a V shape going away. And keeping an eye out for things as well, they seem to be.
So I would be trailing behind them.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to try and, once one passes through a shadow,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to shadow step next to them,
Mm-hmm.
like grab them from behind, cover their mouth sort of thing, and like drag them off into the shadow.
Just be aware that's going to be a grapple check. Just bear that in mind.
Will I get advantage because I would get advantage on an
Yeah.
attack?
Yeah, you're
Because
very
it's an
welcome
attack.
Yes, so I would like to do that.
to. Sure. All right.
But I want to get one like right at the back when it's in the shadows.
Yep.
I want to cover the mouth so
Yep.
that they can't scream.
Yep. Okay. So make a perception check first to see if you can have the opportunity to see one of them in a fairly safe place.
Perception, you say?
Yep.
15?
15's fine. So looking out, there is a particular female, dark braided hair with a cloak over her shoulders, halfling. She seems to be carrying one dagger in each hand, a small curved tooth-like steel, and she's sort of looking around, but she does go into a very dark spot.
If she has a cloak,
Yeah, she
I
does.
would like to pull the cloak over her face.
Yep, okay.
And then like,
And muffle it.
yeah.
All right. No one sees this, but Amara, you disappear from your spot and you appear right behind her. And the moment is there. Make a grapple check, please.
I'm going to take the advantage on that. Please, for the love of God. Please hope that she's weak.
What'd you get?
A 15.
A 15. Okay. So you watch as you just immediately your arm grabs a bit of that loose backing, and you pull it over her face, and then just simply pull, and your arm also tries to cover the mouth.
Oh, no.
And as you get into that position and pull back, so she does seem off balance, you feel these teeth that start to dig in, and a very soft muffle. And as the teeth dig in, I'm just going to make a touch attack.
A bite attack?
Basically a touch attack. Natural one. So
No.
through the cloak, it just doesn't seem to make any purchase. And you successfully seem to be holding her tight.
I'm going to try and drag her away.
All right. Strength check, please.
Again. My strength is so bad. I need to improve it. That's a 12.
A 12? Okay. It's enough. It's a small being, and you shuffle her away. You go maybe about 2 houses down before...
I want to, if there's an alley, I'd rather drag her off down the side versus...
There are plenty of them.
Yeah.
And this particular one, again, has no one in it. A couple of barrels, a couple of doors, closed, some small shops that are closed. You take her down, another 6 seconds pass. You don't hear any call for alarm.
Can I attempt to disarm her?
the grapple success was enough against hers to have her drop her weapons anyway, as she still is trying to claw at you to try and get out of this bind.
I'm gonna hold her by the throat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say, "Why are you after Thulrom?"
Making it either intimidation or no, it has to be intimidation in this particular regard.
Can I ask, do we see this at the back of the path?
No, it's a little bit too far. But you two are getting quickly closer to the scene, but you don't see Amara. No, but you do catch up to the very end of the line of these halflings that are walking. You get into an alleyway which is a lot smaller, but at that very moment, you all smell meat, and you feel a little bit colder. As looking down this alley, it ends with a particularly large 2-story building, and the ceilings are quite high. It would otherwise be a 4-story building, but it looks like it's just 2. The ceilings are very, very tall. And a huge sign in this pink background painted wood with white writing says, it reads, "The Butcher Shop of Derrock."
Do you still want me to roll stealth checks to maintain
Make
that?
one more for me, please. What'd you roll, Mara?
16.
16. Not Thulrom. You all. We just want you all.
Why?
The boss doesn't give us anything to know. We just are paid to follow his orders.
Do I believe her?
Inside.
That was very good. Oh my gosh. Fuck maths. 23.
23. She seems disarmed, but not just in a way of weapons, but she seems a bit worried, looking around, a bit panicked, but speaking in small, soft, honest tones. She does seem to be just very aware of her situation and your strength, and she's telling the truth.
I'm gonna say, are you aware that we can kill you all?
Dog.
I don't know about that, but me, I know. I know you can.
Why are you working for this person?
They pay us well.
That's dumb.
No, it's not. Money's good.
Money's bad.
No, money's good.
No, money's bad.
Oh, okay.
I think you should quit right now.
Well, where would I go?
Anywhere but here.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage, please.
Oh, it's
Oh my
fucking
God.
so good. Rolled a natural 19 and a natural 17. With a +0 modifier, so that's 17.
The 17 in total.
Yeah.
No, the money's too good. Natural 19.
Shit.
No, I need to feed my family.
That's fair. What can you tell me about this disease in the Moor Halls?
Our boss knows more about it. We just know we captured this dwarf.
You don't know anything.
Not really.
Well, that's really stupid.
Not really. I just get paid to be a god.
So are you saying that if the money was good enough, you would work for anything?
You got money?
I got more than this guy.
How much do you have?
It's none of your business.
Oh. How do I know how much I'm going to get paid then?
You just told me. It was a lot.
No, from you.
Oh, I'm not paying you.
Oh.
I think you should find another job.
Well, I used to be a fruit picker.
Go and do that. That's nice. Fruit's great.
I'll consider it.
Okay. I'm glad we had this chat. Sorry, didn't mean to hurt you. I punch her in the face.
Oh shit! Make an attack. Are you trying to knock her out?
Yeah.
Okay. Make an attack roll first.
Now for 4 rounds.
That was a surprise even to me. Yeah, good. That was great. That was a 23 to hit.
A 23. Yeah, that hits. What's your normal spell DC?
Spell.
Not well. What do you have a DC to?
Yeah, actually, I do. No, I don't, because I don't know spells that require a save.
Make a weapon, or make a unarmed strike damage, please.
Unarmed strike damage. It's magical damage with my fists anyway.
Yeah, cool.
6 points of damage.
6 points, okay. Just for the purposes of wanting to knock her out.
Do you want me to stunning strike her, but without using
No.
my key points?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Did you just
gonna
lose a
roll.
diamond off your cheek?
I did. I'm just going to put it back on. In fact, with the roll that she rolled and your intentions, I'll allow it. She just slumps
I'll just
to the
grab her
ground.
head and just...
Yeah, smack. You just hear a dull thunk as her body just crumbles.
Cool.
And she is still breathing, it seems, but is unconscious.
I'm going to put a normal health potion next to her for when she wakes up. And then I'm going to shadow jump away.
All right. In the meantime, what are you guys doing?
I'm assuming a minute's gone by since I started
Yep.
observing this half-elf. So I've been using Know Your Enemy. So just observing for a minute outside of combat.
Sneaky person.
And it says I can learn information about their capabilities compared to your own. Do I have to choose one, or it's got a list here of strength, dexterity, constitution, armor, but it doesn't say choose one.
It doesn't say choose
I
one?
think it's everything, isn't it?
Yeah. It'll be everything. So so go through the list and I'll give you the
It says
scores.
Strength, dexterity, constitution, armor class, current HP, and class levels if they have them.
Okay.
For fighter.
Both fighter and just class levels. Class levels, if any.
Oh,
fighter
sorry.
class levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So strength is 12, dexterity is 16, constitution 15, armor class 13, hit points 30.
Ooh, it's easy kill.
Barclays is next to me, so I'll just go. The one that seems to be the boss. He's pretty weak. Let me know when you want him dead.
Are you doing that? Are you saying that in a soft tone?
He doesn't really care, so
So
not loud, but
Okay.
just say, let me know when you want him dead, and then I'm just going to be the last little bits of meat on the bone that I've still got.
Okay.
I'm just observing. I'm just seeing whether Thulrom's gonna talk to him or whether he's going to pull his mace out. So ready to do something. But just while I'm observing, I pull out just one of my travel glasses and I give one to Dench over here and just have some fresh while we're just looking on and seeing what's going on.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Oh, I'm wash that down.
you all walk more. Amara, you catch up to the rest of the group.
Are there any stragglers?
They all seem to be not taking notice of the fact that one of them is no longer there.
Good.
But it does seem to be that they have, now that the alleyway has narrowed ever so slightly, they seem to be more packed in. The large building has two doors, a set of double doors open. From within, you see many torches are lit. You see and feel frost, and when I say see frost, from the very floor itself, there seems to be some sort of icicles from within this building as you start to enter in. These clumping of boots on wood signal the entrance into this from a dirt ground, and you see in front of you whole open pigs
Oh no.
that are hanging from enormous hooks by their feet. They have been killed, and it is a jungle of them. And you see that their stomachs have been opened, and their insides have been removed completely, and there's simply meat and skin and head there. Some of them no longer have their heads there, and they are bunched together, and on their skin that hardened pig skin is little icicles as well. You also hear a distant sound of a violin playing forlorn music. You notice that the ceilings are quite high, but the pigs are massive. Different colors, pinks, dark browns. You need to, the front halfling and other halflings around them now are actually starting to needing to push between these carcasses to make their way through. And they're sort of slapping up against each other as they exit. And you all seem to also need to move these things out of the way.
I'm shadow jumping if I can. I don't want to touch them. I'm going to crawl. I don't care.
All right. I need you to make just a normal stealth check then, please, as the light here is brightened significantly instead of outside. So
Amara looks pale.
Okay.
She's already pale, but she looks real pale.
Make a stealth check.
Are there like rafters hot light that they're hanging off?
They are simply hanging off enormous beams of timber.
Well, I just head up.
What are you doing?
Just gonna see if we can jump up there and then walk along.
So the roof itself is solid.
Yeah. Okay.
So the beams are just underneath. So there's no real
They're
room
not
to
going
go.
that way. They're trusses that are just
Both ways. It's just basically like this. It's like a level.
Oh.
Yeah.
Out of interest, are all these halflings within like roughly 10 feet of each other?
No, there's still about 20 of them. They're taking up a lot of this space. So the actual room itself is probably about 30 to 40 feet, but you can't really see past these dead animals hanging from the ceiling. So you're not quite sure how actual far this room goes. But it is cold.
In that case, between the pigs and the halflings being 10 feet, I don't. Am I even in this?
You've now started to come in, yes?
Governor, I don't think they're aware that we're here. How do you feel tiptoeing in here? And if we can take the surprise, they did say that
What are we supposed to do?
they've been very vague from what I overheard the conversation in the alleyway. They did suggest if there were friends close by that they were invited into this conversation, but the way that Thulrom was forced into this,
Okay, so you want to just kill them all?
well, I'd wish to not use violence, but
So what else are we gonna do?
if we can hear them out and understand a bit more, maybe we could use that to advantage.
So oh, you want to like spy on them? Okay.
Do you think you could hide inside one of those pigs? I saw you hide inside that pot.
What's the point of hiding inside a pig? I can't hear anything from in there.
Their bellies are open.
Yeah, but where? Are we in the room with like?
You have started to come into the room behind everyone. Behind everyone.
So as I'm carelessly slapping these pigs from side to side on the way past, a lot of pig swinging going on as Thulrom pushes past them.
Wow, thanks for looking at me.
It's
Oh, as Thulrom is like whacking these things, creating that
gaps,
kind of gaps,
movement.
Okay, you're going through them. Make a dexterity check for me as you
Myself
go
is
through.
29.
29. Good to know.
dexterity or acrobatics.
You can do either.
Making a lot of room between them.
All right, having them wave side by side.
I'm also going to speak pretty loudly if that helps with that stealth roll at all. Your base is very charming. This is good. I like how you've hung all these dead pigs up.
It's a butcher shop. We sell meat. What do you want to know? What'd you get?
27.
Yeah, easy. As Thulrom swings the pigs side by side, you find your way through each of them, not even scraping the outside of their cold, dead skins.
What I reminisce is like the College of Swords and like, I remember a training scenario like this, but these were coming a lot faster.
The smell now is almost overpowering. Dent, you look around and your mouth waters even from just with the prospect of how they would be if they're cooked. You then start to see other animals, so chooks, all like their feathers picked, hanging or in a bunch on a table that's in between these pigs. You also see there is a halfling with gloves on a very small table in a small clearing before you have to continue by, that seems to be churning the mince from just meat and putting them into sausages.
I've still got my glass of fresh as I'm just like walking through. I just like walk past him.
Yep. Yeah. He has like this long Viking-looking braided beard and these really bushy yellow eyebrows.
What you making there?
Sausages.
Sausages for who?
Me. For the boss.
Oh, there's a lot of meat in here.
Oh yeah, we're a butcher shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see, as he grins, some of his teeth is missing.
Where does this produce go? And we're in Shan, so...
All over Shan.
Up, down?
Yeah. We sell for a good price too.
Do you sell to any Galanda taverns?
All the time. All the time.
All the time, okay.
Do I hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Thank you, Barclays. Thank you for funding this predicament.
They're really good customers.
Yeah, okay. Interesting to see you do your best work here.
Oh, you ain't seen nothing.
Yeah, well, next time you want to impress, come and mention it to the house. We've got a sausage festival coming up.
Oh, my favorite. Is that eaten or prepared?
Well, both happens. I mean, what was the first thing he said?
Eaten
Eaten.
or preparing?
Preparing.
Oh, my favorite. My favorite.
Do I notice anything while I'm chatting to him? Like, because I'm kind of just like sort of looking around the room.
Make a perception check.
Yeah.
Mara's just repeatedly like going, "This is my nightmare."
Are you okay, by the way?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, cool.
This is called acting.
Oh, got
Ellie,
it.
you should try.
Meta.
Wow.
17.
Looking around, you notice that a lot of these halflings are continuing to move with you. Mm-hmm. They're ducking underneath these meats, and they are keeping pace, still with their weapons drawn. You don't notice them, and then you notice them as they just duck themselves throughout this jungle. But they are there. They are keeping an eye on the very front, Thulrom and this small halfling leading the way. Otherwise, you see a couple of other tables around you that have different sounds of chopping and moving, and you see on the floor it's sort of it's now like an icicle / dried blood
It seems
scene.
like they're still working in here as we're walking through.
Yeah, they're still
like
working.
Everyone's cleared out.
No.
That
No,
sort of thing.
like business as usual,
Yeah,
it seems. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Well, carry on.
Okay. And he continues on. Would anyone else like to do anything at this point?
Die.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn to Rook and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Rook, watch this." And I'll lick one of the pigs and I'm like, "It's a pork thick."
No, wait. They're frozen, aren't they?
They're nearly frozen.
Yes.
So his tongue doesn't get stuck.
No, but make a Constitution saving throw.
It's a pork thickle.
I'm kidding.
15 plus.
I was kidding. It's
I
fine.
don't care. I'm still doing it. I'm doing it. It's 18.
DM asks and we deliver.
You save.
In
It tastes good.
the seriousness of the situation, my gruff demeanor still smacks. There's a curl on the side of his lip.
And then Gunnar will just dart.
Okay.
And I'm going to do it quietly, and I'm going to try and stealth through the pigs.
Okay, make a stealth check.
Can I
If you want to stealth.
follow in suit?
Yep. Sure. Stealth check.
How high are the pigs off the ground?
They're about 3 feet.
Oh wow, I am camera crawling.
So I'm like... Actually, how tall am I? I've forgotten how much. Description. I'm 4'5".
Yeah, so you
So-
need to duck through still, but it won't be too hard.
Okay, I was going to try and angle for advantage there, but whatever. 13.
13. Yeah, you keep pace with Gunner, but you do manage to avoid hitting your head accidentally. Interestingly enough, though,
Dead.
you're still you're still being focused on by some of the halflings of the Boromar clan. They still seem to be aware that you're there as you look around to see who's watching. What'd you get?
19.
19. You're not. You seem to have lost them in a way. You can still see the few that are around you, but the carcasses do start to thin and becomes now less of an overwhelming smell of pork and more of a incense and fruit smell. As you are stealthing, you are not being seen, but you do hang back a little bit, still within the pigs, as the room suddenly becomes a bit more bare. Thulrom, you're in front, and you see this first as this small space opens up. The floors are completely clean and devoid of ice and any sort of animal parts. This halfling is hurriedly mopping behind you to make sure that continues to be the case, and half slipping as well. And you all noticed in front of you a couple of things at once. There are two doors that lead to opposite sides, on the opposite sides of this small opening, to different rooms. A door that leads to a back room, and in front of it a small set of stairs that leads up to this large chair, where you see the largest looking halfling that you've ever seen. This being has the most circular, flat face in existence. This small button nose, this long set of lips that go almost all the way to the edges of this circular face. Small freckles, these droopy eyes, and almost a tired, almost a falling asleep look, as he has this small tray across his lap, and he seems to be eating from a silver plate of a cooked sausage and some vegetables. Directly to the left and the right of him seem to be a violinist that seems to be playing non-stop this interesting music. Peaceful. To you, Barclays, impressive.
Have I heard the tune before?
Make a history check.
3.
A 3? You do recognize it to be some sort of halfling folk song, but you don't know the name. On the other side is what looks to be a female halfling sitting down with two what look to be long, thin fencing or samurai-looking swords crossed behind her. She's not holding them, she's simply having her arm on arm, and she has her eyes closed. A fair face, but one of concentration. This halfling in front of Thulrom now steps forward into the middle of this small space, turns and says, "I give you the right arm of House Boromar."
Am I still crawling?
You're still crawling through. You're hearing this as well, though, but you're still a little ways away from the end of this pigsty.
I'm like, as I'm going, I'm muttering, "What the fuck, Sonari?"
And this halfling says, "I give you Round Terry."
Why do they call you Round Terry?
They said Brown Terry.
This large, fat halfling with a tunic that is too small for his paunch that spills out, sort of looks down at you all. Hello. How are you? Good to finally see you.
I've been waiting for this moment.
Welcome to the butcher shop.
This is just Michele's uncle.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is this a relative of yours, Michele the Amazing? He's like, maybe.
I bid you good tidings. Who are you?
What do you mean, who are we? You summoned us here. We are 3/4 of Thulroms Five. I mean, Thulroms Five.
Did you say 3/4 of?
Yeah.
Oh, bene, okay. Well,
Molto bene.
Shit.
Why have you called us here, Terry?
you know, my family, we come from a long line of, hold on. He turns to his, to this violinist and says, "Shut up, Louis."
Poor Louis.
Have you? Hold on, wait.
Suddenly
have you
the-
seen the comments?
No. Great.
Someone said, "You come to me on the day of my wedding."
I'm working here. Okay. So, when you know what my family history is, you might know why you've been summoned. But maybe for another time. I have a job. A good job. Pays well. But you have to accept it. Or else, and he sort of thin, long finger goes across his neck. You're in my territory now. And when you are, it means that the people who followed you, they're no longer just my people. They're my friends, my cousins. Yeah, how you say, Guji. Now, he sort of licks his lips and you see this parched tongue over some dry lips. Amara, you've now come into the fray and seeing the scene in front of you.
Am I close to Thulrom?
Yep.
Like, he's trying to make us an offer we can't refuse.
I'm like not even trying to be stealthy anymore. I'm just like, I'm so tired from crawling through these pigs that I get up and I'm like, who the fuck lives here?
Oh. Finally. Is this the,
Yeah, that's all of us here.
that's the extra quarter?
the rest, yeah.
Okay.
That's disgusting.
Are you insulting my family? Are you insulting
Not the
my
family, the pigs.
business?
Yes.
We are an honest business.
Are you? You're killing animals. It's not nice.
It's honest. It feeds people.
How is it honest? Do the pigs know? Do you tell them beforehand?
We have a good talk. We have a discussion.
I'm confused. Do you sit these pigs down and tell them you're going to kill them?
We pray for them.
That's not honest then.
Who is this? She talks too much. Now, as I was saying.
Yeah, no. She doesn't. She's fine.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Thulrom.
Yeah.
Oh, Thulrom, is it?
I was that late to stand up for it, but I remember. I'm like, yeah, wait a sec.
Listen, I'm tired. And you hear at that point a distant, what seems to be an echo of a groan.
Any suggestion?
It seems to be coming from not round Terry, but from But from the room that's behind the door on the right. And he continues, he says, ignore that.
What is it?
It's nothing to be concerned about yet.
It sounds concerning.
He sort of takes a bit of a handkerchief from his top pocket and wipes his sweaty forehead. Because this area seems to be a little bit warmer and getting a bit warmer as well. He says, now, to my offer. You know, yes.
Have Rook and I arrived yet?
Yes, you have.
Oh, okay.
You're on the outskirts at the moment
Arrived
still.
before me.
Well, you were stealthy, but you were crawling as well. Though they were darting through.
Okay.
Yeah.
They still don't seem to notice you, Rook, but they do have eyes on you, Gunnar. Now, as I've said, I've got many friends, many families that occupy around here. Now you just need to do the one thing that has eluded us for some time.
5'5".
That's my height, good guess. But no. What do you say?
This is a short joke.
I get it. Amusing, very amusing. So, to the task. When you go up and you go to that auction, it'll be the auction that this Feriso is guiding you towards. Yeah, we know. We have business there like you.
How do you know Feriso?
He don't know us, but we know him. Let's just put it that way.
And if we mentioned you to him, what would he say?
He may not take kindly that you've been talking to us.
Then why would we want to work for you?
Amiga, hey. Wait. Just do this, and maybe we give you the person that groans. We give you this dwarf that has been suffering so much because of you, so they say. Now,
What do you mean?
well,
That could be any number of dwarves.
this one calls himself the Warden.
Ah.
I don't know, he just keeps calling out your name and cursing through the lips that he no longer possesses. You tell me what that means, and then it might give me some more understanding of the situation. Anyway, I give you this dwarf, you get the skeleton key. It's on auction this very evening. They call it an antique, but madon, this thing is no antique. This thing can open doors everywhere. We need it. We need this thing.
Only on this plane? Or additional planes as well?
I don't know. I don't care. This plane is lucrative enough. This thing has been on the black market in the hands of our enemies for some time. We've been tracking these enemies down, these Dask, feeding them to the fishers on the Daggett River. But so far, none of them have talked. This is where you come in. Suddenly this thing resurfaces at this auction house. Most people will think that it ain't worth nothing. But let me tell you, it's worth something. Win it, buy it, and hand her over. I know to you this would be perhaps worth doing.
The warden was my captor, and I cheated him to escape my bonds. Why would I want to free him from your grasp?
Well, all he tells, all he yells, all he says. He says he needs your help. But, you know, this thing of ours that we have, we can get this other ways. It goes disappearing again, it goes bye-bye. That's okay. We don't need it right now.
Do I believe what he says when he says that?
Make an insight check. Hey Louis, it is a little bit dull here. Play another tune, and this violinist just starts to strike up a little bit more of a lively thing at the moment.
14.
That's better, Louis. From your perspective, he doesn't seem to give off any sort of understanding whether he's speaking the truth. It's very, very hard to read. His eyes gaze directly at Thulrom and each of you. He seems to be locking eyes with every one of you. There's no twitch, there's no understanding of trust here, or deception.
I'm going to look at him and say, and if we just decide that we want to kill you all instead?
So he gives a slow nod. Well, I've lived a long life. Mia vita, you know. It's been a dangerous one. My wife, she'll miss me. My children, they'll go hungry. Maybe this whole thing will fall apart. At least the right arm of the Boromar clan. Or maybe not. Maybe Louis will take over. He's pretty good with a tune, yeah? Or maybe you can try. And maybe you'll fail. Maybe you'll succeed. Is it worth the life of this dwarf? He's keeping on sputtering some things like Thulrom has the cure. Thulrom is the savior. I don't know.
Thulrom the savior?
I like the sound of that.
To me, it was just as funny.
It's the first thing we've agreed on.
My hope is that we agree on more and we both live. I need to run some things around here. Unfinished business. But you know, my time may be up. I have some fight left in me. We can do this, or you can get this key that I long for, that my family needs, that my cousins and friends, uncles and aunts, maybe. What do you say? Feriso's going to tell you to get it for him, but I want it for me.
So why should we get it for you over Feriso, someone that we trust?
Feriso has his own secrets. I don't know whether trust is something that you should be instilling in him. But that's by the by. I think at least one of you has a reason to want to at least talk to this dwarf. This thing with the Red Death. Don't get too close, because you don't want him touching you. Just speak to him from afar. We have him in a little comfortable, but a little cage. And then maybe you get this thing for me, and then you can talk to him. I'll let you talk amongst yourself. I'm just gonna... And he sort of, with a large, fat hand with very thin fingers, just gestures, and you see out from the slightly open door now, you see a tray being brought out by a halfling with a few glasses of wine in beautiful chalices of crystal. dark crystal, and he sort of takes one and sort of gives it a bit of a slurpy sip, a little bit of trickling down his chin. So, should I leave?
Me and my companions will discuss this, I think, in private. We'll leave you for now, and we'll send word of our decision.
This may be a problem. I have a room here. You can have one of your people just watch to make sure that we're not listening. But the decision has to be done soon because the auction is tonight.
I'll go watch.
Alright.
My humblest apologies.
I'm going to step into the room.
Alright, so you all watch as a halfling on the left-hand side, or one of the halflings, opens up the door leading into what looks to be a very plain room. It has a couple of bedrolls. It has some chairs and a table. It has some what look to be hors d'oeuvres as well. Some small biscuits with quite nice-looking fresh prawns with a little bit of garnish on top, and other small bits of cooked meats, some small pieces of vegetable and olives that have been skewered in, all on trays, about 3 of them that are dotting the room on 3 tables.
Am I standing at the front though?
You're standing at the front at the moment. You've only seen Thulrom go in. What's everyone else doing?
I'm gonna start making my way to where Thulrom went. I'm gonna stop when I see Barclay's not following.
Yep.
And I'm going to telepathically say to him and give him the ability to respond. And say, Barclays, can you message Feriso? I think you should know. You don't have to do it now, but it would be good to know if we can after we've discussed it amongst each other.
I don't know if I can do it with message though.
Good.
I don't know if I can do it just by talking into my wrist.
You don't have to talk into your wrist to me.
Oh. This is all I can do.
Okay.
Gunnar's gonna loudly proclaim, I need a pee!
Oh, of course.
Where's your bathroom?
We have the lavatory, the cabinet, if you want to call it that, over there.
And he points towards that slightly open door that leads back where the wine came from.
It's just to the right.
Okay, I'm gonna make my way slowly over there, just watching everyone in the room. Are they watching me?
Some of them are watching you pass. Most of them are focused on these and their boss.
Okay.
As you make your way and slide your way into this back room, you see immediately in front of you a small kitchenette that what looks to be other halflings preparing these small hors d'oeuvres and putting them on trays. One of the halflings, just a normal one of the workers, seems to carry it out, but past you. And to the right, you do see what looks to be a small door that's open, and then inside that, a simple hole in the ground, essentially. At the other end of the kitchenette is another door that leads what looks to be to a set of stairs.
Gunnar pulls his face, like, when he sees the toilet hole. Did you say there were people in this kitchen? How many?
There are 3.
Are they busy or are they watching?
Yeah, they look to be cooks. They seem to be stoking a small fire pit, and also just concentrating on what they're doing with their food preparation.
I'll close the door behind me as I enter, just quietly.
Yep.
So that no one can see into this room.
Okay. The door slides shut. No one seems to take notice. You're now alone with 3 cooks.
Yay!
Yay.
And you all see Gunnar go behind this door.
I will very quietly move towards the stairs.
Yep, make a stealth check for me.
Was that a nat one?
Yes.
Okay. That one?
That's a 2.
A 2 in total? Right. I'll leave you for a second.
Yeah,
What's everyone else
please.
doing?
I'm going to quickly actually pee though.
That's all right.
I'm going to stand at the front door and I'm going to pull out a special item and put him down just next to me to aid me in keeping watch.
As everyone watches but Gunnar, the small green plant with small spines emerges.
Prickly Pete.
And Prickly Pete gets placed onto the ground. You hear a, "Oh, that's nice," from one of the halflings just in the crowd behind you. And you look quickly to see where that voice came from, and you actually see a couple of people sort of, oh yeah, it's pretty cool, behind you. Nods of approval.
Okay. It's deadly too.
You see, are you saying that?
Yeah.
Okay, a couple of steps back, a couple of notches of crossbow bolts. Oh, what?
Trained on Pete.
They seem to be. A couple of them are tentatively pointing towards the plant, but it doesn't get fired upon.
Okay.
Thulrom?
So I'm going to open the door of the room and take a step inside and stand near the open door.
Okay.
I'll follow in.
Yep.
I'm going to look at Dench. I'm going to say, "Well, seems we've brought you back here. Do you know how to send messages?"
All I know how to do is punch.
Great. Thulrom, can you send messages?
Are you saying this in my mind?
No, out loud.
Out loud?
Yeah. But quietly.
Stealth check.
Fuck. It's good. It's an 18 plus 7.
Okay. Cool. So, as you say this under your breath, you notice a pair of eyes.
Fuck.
It's a kraken.
Oh no!
A pair of halfling eyes look towards you. This older, heavily moustached halfling.
I noticed this, right?
With a heavy crossbow, point this crossbow towards you through the open door. "Hey, what are you doing? What are you saying?"
Wait, he's pointing through the open door. Can I see that too?
Yeah.
What?
Excuse me, I would like to contact my mother.
Who?
My mum.
Wait,
Why?
Because she's my mum and I'm lost.
Is now the best time?
hang on, whoa. This is supposed to be private conversation. I thought we were given privacy to talk about whatever we wanted to discuss.
You are, but no
Why am I
funny.
keeping watch here?
Well, no funny business. That's all.
It's not funny if I want to speak to my mum.
What's she got to do with anything?
She gave birth to me.
I interject to say, it matters not. I have no quill. I can send no messages. Come. I gesture to the room.
I enter the room and I look at this guy and I'm like,
So it gives you a bit of a shrug. Okay. Gapaku. He sort of shrugs and turns away. Alright, so Thulrom and Amara and Barclays, you're in as well.
Well, I'm standing at the door.
You're watching.
Yeah.
Are you going in?
You're heading in,
Dench, yep.
And
What are you doing, Rook?
Did you go into the room and then out the back door, or did you go off to the side?
You watched him as he went through into the room behind, not to the room on the left where you all are going.
Okay.
What are you doing, Rook?
Judging from the smell and the sounds that I heard, did I hear the conversation as well?
Yep.
Getting close to the area?
Yep.
And you're at the door on watch.
Yeah.
I'm in between, and all you guys are in the room.
No, Gunner's not there.
Oh, no. Okay. I feel like I lost you. I'm going to just try and maintain
he
stealth.
said he
and
was going
be-
to the bathroom.
Like really loudly.
That's cool. So you're going to just stand watch?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to be outside, not going into the room?
No.
Okay, cool. So, Amara, Dench, and Thulrom, you all head into the room. The door closes behind you, and you are now alone.
Sure. So I'm going to look at Amara and Dench. I'm going to look at them, look around the room. What does the room look like?
It's very square, wooden walls and a flat wooden roof. you see a small chandelier lighting up the roof, lighting up the room with candles on 3 tiers, which is hanging down. It's a low ceiling though, so you're almost, as you raise your hand, you can pretty much touch the bottom of it. And the room itself is only about 15 by 15, so it's quite tiny.
So I'm going to turn and look at Amara, and I'm going to say, "Oh, Amara, I'm surprised you don't already know what I'm thinking. You've always had this innate ability to get into my head."
I'm gonna telepathically say to him, "Hello."
Can I respond to that?
No.
That's
Do you look upset about it?
No, not at all. If anything, I look pleased.
I'm gonna say out loud to you. Would you like me to just speak in your head?
I'd go. If only you could understand what I say in my mind. Unfortunately, I have to tell you that I couldn't give 2 shits about Feriso, and we should steal this key. And in my mind, I'm like, we need to speak to Feriso immediately.
I can't read his mind. I'm gonna say out loud. I'm gonna say, "Cough twice if you'd like me to speak in your mind." I can't hear that.
Yeah.
I can't read minds.
Oh, so you say that in my mind, you say cough twice.
No, I say it out loud.
Oh, well. Cough twice.
All right.
Are you sick, mate?
I'm gonna say in your mind, "Hello," and then I'm gonna let him respond this time.
So I'm going to say to her, we need to contact Feriso, get this key, come back here with him and maybe some more of the 12 and a bunch of the Shan Guard and tear this place apart. And out loud I'm going to say, it's time for us to betray Feriso. We need to get this key, come back here, talk to that warden, and be gone from this place.
I seem to understand what you're saying, Thulrom. He is a bad man.
Yes.
Very bad. And then in his mind, and I'm going to say it in Dench's mind as well, but Dench can't reply. Because it's the 3 of us, right? I'm going to say, I can probably cast Pass Without a Trace on myself again, and maybe try and sneak away. Maybe Feriso will still be where we last saw him.
I say we go out there, tell this round face that we're going to do his bidding, and leave peacefully, all the while intending to betray him, get the key from Feriso, and then come back here with a bunch of guard
I'm going to say back in your mind.
for a halfling slapdown.
If it was that easy, I would like it, but I don't see it being that easy. I think if you want to go that way, you guys, or a couple of you, pretend like you're actually going to find, because we have to go to an auction, right? Like, they're going to know whether we're there at the auction or not.
Oh yeah, we're going to go to the auction.
So maybe what should happen is a bunch of you guys can go to the auction, and me and one other person, because I can cast this on more than one person, can sneak off, go and find Feriso, come back. Because no one can contact him via message, and we should probably get him sooner rather than later.
That's actually a really good idea. Alright.
So that's in his head.
Yeah. That you hear that too, you just can't respond. Everything I say is to both of you, you can't hear his response, and you can't respond back.
So I say, alright, we'll go out there, we'll tell him we're going to do what he wants, and you sneak off and get Feriso to round up the cavalry. And we'll rendezvous back here? Or will you meet us at the auction?
Amara just goes, Rook. He can locate objects, right?
Yes.
He can locate me. You guys come to me. You guys come to me after the auction.
Amara, just on that note, you do remember,
It's within a certain radius.
not just that, but object is a little bit different to person. Just be aware. You know that Rook attempted to locate a person using locate object and failed. So just be aware it's an object, not a person. They are two different things. You know that.
He's seen my staff. He could
Held your stuff.
Yeah, and also he's watched it changed. He knows what it looks like. He could probably locate it. I'll get as close to here as I can, hoping that the auction is nearby. But can't Gunnar send messages? Maybe he can message me.
I don't think he's at full power right now.
Well, fuck. Anyway, locate my object. I'll meet you guys as close to here as I can without being sus.
Alright.
Also, Dench, I'm gonna say in your head.
The whole time this has been going on, because he is not familiar with telepathy at all, so he's...
I'm gonna look you dead in the eye and I'm gonna say, hello, Dench.
Yes.
You can also hear this.
Yeah.
Please don't speak out loud. Just listen. Thulrom is going to take you all to the auction and you will do the stuff and I will meet you somewhere else. Good. Simple instruction. Goodbye. And I stop communicating.
You don't do anything at that point, Dench?
Still a bit confused. He's just... This is all nonchalant to him. He's got no idea who Feriso or anyone is. And going by the parts of that he would have heard, he just thinks that he's thinking this in his head.
I love it.
But he will turn to Thulrom and... what do you know of this Red Death?
This Red Death. I'm going to pause for a second and go... When I was... This warden that they're holding, he was in charge of a dreadful prison. It's called the Dreadhold.
Oh no.
Do I see any recognition in the eyes of these two?
Have I heard of the Dreadhold?
You have heard of the Dreadhold. It is common knowledge. It is one of the most dangerous prisons to hold some of the most dangerous people, criminals, in Corvair. Located far, far north of the Moral Holds.
Right, in that top right.
Somewhere up here.
Slightly up the edge where those
Yes.
islands.
Thulrom, what did you do?
I lit someone on fire in a market, but they deserved it.
Insight.
Sure.
It's bad.
Are you telling the truth?
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, it's a 16.
You know Thulrom by now enough to know
It's not bad.
he's
I thought it was bad. It was not.
he has true words.
I can see you telling the truth, Thulrom.
In Dragonborn society, the rules are very rigid, and striking out against your betters carries a harsh penalty.
Did you set him on fire with your breath?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. That's on. It wasn't cool. It was very, very hot. And Kabara.
Michele is so disappointed.
That was great.
Kabara, where I'm from, neighbours on the provinces that hold the Dreadhold.
Cabana.
Kabara.
Cabana.
This is what you got to get into.
Yeah. And I was traded with the dwarves as part of a trees treaty and ended up there.
Trace Petey.
Bring it back in, guys.
So what does this have to do with the Red Death?
Well, the warden called me one day. There was a disease that had just started to pick up in the land. And he brought to me someone who was very dear to him and asked me if I could cure them. I said yes. I did not know how to cure them. I managed to barter my freedom. I said in exchange for curing this person, I would cure the disease. And then I did some hocus pocus and lit up my sigil a little bit, like I do. Made some wind and then said they were cured and hightailed it out of there. So that's why probably this warden is keen to see me, but I don't know why other than to take my head. And that's why we're going to betray Feriso, get this key, and kill this warden.
Correct me if I am wrong. I heard the drow talking about the Red Death before I had to escape them. And wound up in that dream space. They seem to be performing experiments on the dwarves.
And as much of a tragedy as that is, Thulrom stops for a second and goes, hang on, I meant not be too harsh on these dwarves. Forgive me. They imprisoned me for a long time and were very cruel, these keepers of the Dreadhold. But that is not fair that they should deserve cruelty in return. Perhaps when we freed the warden, he can give us some clue as to how we can help them.
Did you just say you wanted to kill the warden?
Yeah, free him from his mortal coil.
Can we do that now?
No, because they're keeping him in that other room, locked away.
Well, I guess it's time for us to kill Feriso.
Yep.
Such a shame. He was a good guy.
He was a good guy.
I don't know where that is, but just point him out when you want it done.
Okay.
I'm gonna open the door and head on out.
As you do, at the same time, Gunnar, you see all three of these cooks just turn their heads and look directly at you as you are trying to sneak around the outside and underneath the tables of these benches. And from their side, they all three of them bring out large crossbows, and they all point towards you. One of them says, "Oi, where you going? Come here, come here."
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh,
Yeah, you're not supposed to be.
yes I am.
Oh, really? Why?
Because I was looking for the toilet.
You just passed it. It's just over there.
Oh, that doesn't look like a toilet.
That's where you're gonna go. Capiche?
There's no seat.
We make do.
You know, this place is very confusing.
At that point, one of them attempts to put their hand on your shoulder to grapple you. Do you want to try and resist? They're trying to hold you still.
Nope.
Okay. One of them grabs you by the shoulder. The other one comes over and grabs another, and the third has their crossbow pointed at you, and you are started to be led back out. Make a deception check for me.
Sorry, when you said do I want to resist, I thought you meant like do something.
That's okay. Are you trying to resist?
Still like them to roll to grapple me if that's okay.
No problem. Yeah, absolutely. So do you want to roll an acrobatics or strength to try and get out of this grapple then?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so loud.
Hey.
Is it a kraken?
Yeah.
On a Titan B20?
It's a Titan Kraken.
It's a tight kraken.
Tight Kraken. That's a 21.
All right. You dexterously swivel away from their hold, and their hand just passes through thin air. What are you doing?
I'm just gonna stand there. Hey! Watch the merchandise. I'm valuable. Do you want to see a trick?
No.
Oh. Well,
You're not supposed to be here. Are you mocking us?
We just got through this. I am supposed to be here, and I'm about to piss my pants. So
Go, bathroom now. Just keep it off our merchandise.
Okay.
You gonna go?
I'm going. I'm walking here. Walk over to the bathroom and close the door.
All right. You close the door behind you. The business is done. You are finished, but do you want to do anything else while you're in there?
No. I will peek open the door. Are they still watching the door?
They're pretty intent now. They've got their weapons drawn and they are just looking towards that bathroom. Yes.
Okay. The door that I was heading towards, did you say goes up or down?
Seems to go down.
It's like a cellar, because we're on the ground floor, aren't we?
You'd assume it's something like a storage facility.
Okay, I don't want to go there anyway, I don't think. I'll just come out of the bathroom. Okay, thanks for that. Sorry about the meth. And then I'll just walk out.
And as you walk out, you hear that groan from behind you. And as you go on...
I'm going to use my mage hand telekinesis to... Do I see... What are they cooking?
Looking over the hors d'oeuvres, just other small pieces of I guess,
No soups?
bites. No soups. Not that you can see.
Is there any pot? Are there any pots hanging up?
Yeah, there are some pots.
My mage hand's just going to go... and knock them all down.
Okay. And you will hear this clang, 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 as you look over and you see Gunnar start to just calmly walk out. You hear this this yell from inside as two halflings come out directly behind you, Gunnar, and one of them that you can see is starting to clean up the mess. They both still have their crossbows drawn, and they're looking around. One of them turns towards Round Terry, and he says, "Oh, hey, this one, he's doing something tricky here."
I'm gonna turn around Terry. I'm gonna say, all right. That's all of us. All right, look, I don't see Rook. I go, did you find anybody else in this place? Okay, well, that's all of us. That's the lot.
All right. And with that, Round Terry just looks around and...
Round Terry looks around.
Round the outside?
I guess you better get going then. You have yourselves a good auction.
Are you paying?
Your payment is in the other room. No, you get this for as cheap or as pricey as you can.
Are you reimbursing us?
Maybe, if you're good with your delivery.
Could you give us a deposit?
Persuasion check.
No. Absolutely not.
He simply just shakes his head slowly.
Sorry, I'm not good with money. I don't know how to use it.
No, it's okay. You'll learn when you get there.
All right, we'll get you your key, but how are you going to fend off the 12?
Why do they need to be bothered with us?
Maurizio is one of the 12, and eventually he will learn that you've crossed him.
Like I said, maybe you shouldn't put all of your trust into one of these tricksters.
I don't trust him. I trust he's going to tear me apart, and you too when he finds out. If he finds out.
Just be warned. We have dealings with many people. We have things that we know of other people. Secrets. They keep people in check.
So it gives you a bit of a knowing look.
I nod.
Okay.
With that, he takes a sip of his wine and simply stands, waiting for you to either continue the conversation or simply leave.
I'm going to walk out.
All right. As you all watch Gunnar walk, we will leave it there. Have a slightly late 10-minute break. It is 8:43, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed that first part. Did you want to do this now or after?
Did you get my text?
No. No.
Let's talk about my text on the break.
Yeah, cool.
But I'm ready to announce our giveaway winner.
Hey, we've got a winner.
So the giveaway winner is about to win a Meeples and Dragons. Did you just tell me to shush?
No, keep going.
A Meeples and Dragons glass with the class of their choice. It comes in this really nice fancy box. And you can pick your class. This one's the Ranger. So the winner of the giveaway, and I want to say thank you to everyone who entered.
Thank you.
Because we got 50-ish entries, which is unbelievable.
It's awesome.
Another big thank you to Meeples and Dragons for being the guys that like provided this.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
if everyone could please do a very quiet drum roll because we've got 3 microphones in here. The winner of the Meeples and Dragons giveaway is Declan DDY.
Declan DDY.
Declan DDY, thank you for your entry. Declan DDY, if you guys don't know, is the DM of Romancing the Dungeon.
Oh my gosh.
That's brilliant.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
You know why we're going to be talking about this.
Yeah.
Romancing the Dungeon, super cool podcast. It is a softcore D&D podcast about adventurers finding love in the Dungeons and Dragons world.
Oh, cute.
UK based, really cool. If you're watching this, which I don't think you are based on time zone, we will DM you shortly. And yay.
Congratulations.
Hey, congratulations again.
Thank you again, Meeples and Dragons.
Thank you. All right. Excellent. Look, we're going to call it 8:46. We're going to come back at 8:56, and don't go away because they're going to be going off to a bit of an auction. So we'll see you in about 10 minutes, everybody. Woo! Welcome back, everybody. Just waiting on some of the last. We did open some doors, so if you find that we can keep the doors open. If you find that the audio is a little bit different, maybe a little bit less to be able to understand
Let
us.
us know.
Let us know. Let it snow. While we're waiting for everyone else to come back, I
fully
thought
smashed that.
I'd either serenade everybody,
Actually, let's listen to this audio.
or actually ask a favor. If anyone in the chat does want me to put on a particular accent in the coming scenes, not scenes, but maybe in another session, please feel free to put in your suggestion of what accent you would like. Now, I also apologize. I am conscious that during when I talk or when other people talk,
Every week.
oh my god, that some of my rhinestones come off. I'm trying not to move too much, but at the same time, I hope you notice that I'm trying to make an effort and still am sticking things on my face. I have that many left, so I'm going to just try and do that. Hello.
I've done a costume change, so I've dressed as someone who knows that
It
they live
sounds
in
fine.
tropical North Queensland.
The audio sounds fine.
Beautiful. And if the audio sounds fine, let's just make sure that everyone's comfortable, and that is the main thing. However, yeah, that's actually fine. Thulrom, that's the way. Perfect. Lovely. Just beautiful. Excellent. Okay, I guess. Yes.
I will just say that
Please.
everyone has to dance
For what?
because it was requested
Nobody
of us.
steal my dance.
Well,
It's my
I already
dance.
danced, and everyone else. This includes
danced
you.
with
You're on
us.
the stream now.
Put down more once.
who put in-
Throw some flair into it.
Who put in the request?
I forget, but it was put in there for everyone. Michele, you've just got an additional
Hey,
request.
What do I
Macarena.
have to do?
Another dance.
Oh,
Do the Macarena. Do the Macarena. Is it in Italian? Macarena is Italian, isn't it? Come on, you should know
That's
the word.
racist. It's not. It's actually not Italian.
Isn't it?
It's not.
Definitely not Italian. Have you
What is the
listened to
Don't
the
you
opening
worry about
of
my
the song?
boyfriend. The boy.
No, really?
I don't want him. Can't stand
Please,
him, even
for
though
the
he's
love
so
of
high.
all things holy.
What is
There
the
you go.
Macarena?
Exactly how it is.
Hey, let's just
That's actually how it goes.
say
Hey.
congratulations again to Declan
I don't even know how to spell
DUI.
it.
Declan.
Declan.
Rocky
Oh, it's
winner.
Spanish. It's Spanish.
Congratulations.
The Macarena is Spanish.
I'm gonna put this drink somewhere. Put it in the
In
chat
your mouth.
if you're the one that did win the right for us to dance all silly like. I just want to know who it is. That's all. Cool.
Del Rio, Los Del Rio.
Excellent. Well, if everyone's ready, we can head back into the game. Everyone good?
Let's try Prime.
Oh, Trav. Hey, you
Trav.
deserve it. You
Trav.
deserve it.
Saving up them dollars.
Absolutely.
Dull hairs.
Love it. If that wasn't good enough, we can work it out. It's fine.
Maybe that's what we should do.
Just work it out. Or?
An episode where we just learn how to dance.
Okay. Yeah. You lead. So, bringing it back in. As Gunnar starts to walk out of the butcher shop of Derok, is everyone following suit? Are you doing anything else currently while the halflings are parting ways to allow you the door out?
I'm leaving.
Okay.
Do I see everybody leave on the way?
You do. You seem to be moving these carcasses aside for you this time, allowing a straight beeline for the door.
I am going to absolutely move along the way. I'm going to do the old swing on some of the pigs as I move. I don't want any of them to touch me.
Okay.
Push them out of the way.
Yeah, I'll be crawling.
All right.
Again.
Yep.
As I'm passing through the pigs, I'm just going to grab one of the rib sections and just try to rip off a big chunk of ribby meat.
Make a strength check, please, as you pass by one.
going to stop and say, you probably could just take the whole pig.
That was a 15.
Yeah, that'll do. You don't.
That'll do, pig.
That'll do, pig. You do.
Do I see this?
Yeah. I mean, you're crawling, but you're noticing your other party members. Absolutely.
I fear that I would vomit.
Make a Constitution saving throw at that point.
It was a 16. It was pretty good. Maybe in my mouth.
It's a little in your mouth, but at the same time, it's you control it. But you do rip out a piece of rib, 2 ribs in fact, with a bit of the meat still on it. You thought you could get more, but for some reason, because it's cold, it just seems to be sticking a bit too much.
Fair enough.
And you sort of hold it over your shoulder for now.
And I'll be making my way towards
Downtown.
the outside.
We're taking some of this meat. I call back over my shoulder.
Yeah, you take what you like. It's just a little echo from a random halfling behind you. All right.
As they're all walking out, am I close by the door that they're coming through?
Yep.
Oh man. Can I peek inside?
Sorry, you're peeking into the kitchen, is that, or into the outside in the alleyway again as you're exiting?
The conference room they were in.
Oh yeah. So you'd be one of the last to
big,
leave. Peeking in, you do see the platters and the fairly plain looking room, 15 by 15 feet. The chandelier hanging low.
Is big
Round Terry.
round Terry.
Big Terry.
Big round Terry.
Round Terry is still looking out towards the party who are leaving. He seems to be just sipping and gazing towards them, nonchalantly, fairly calmly, with this small nose that seems to be ever so slightly leaking a bit of
So
discharge.
this was like a dining room, was it?
Sort of, a very small dining room.
Okay. In which case, I guess, because I'm already stealth, I'll try and leave with them as stealthily.
Yep, stealth check. Make a new one. Barclays, you're heading out as well?
Yeah.
Cool.
16 plus 9.
Okay. And for the entire interaction that you were all in, none of you noticed Rook, none of you saw him, heard him, and you are stealthy. You make your way out, but no one takes notice of you and sees you as you crawl underneath the butcher shop.
This is where I start to assassinate my group.
Okay. You're outside now, all of you, and you see that there are only 2 halflings that have escorted you out and are now looking beyond. One of them says, "Okay, so if you want this place, you have to go straight. You have to go your 2 rights, and then you go straight ahead. And at the end of that is the Aurora Gallery. That's where they'll be."
I say, very well, thank you.
No, thank you.
I'm going to turn and head in the direction that they...
Same.
for.
Okay. Making your way through, yeah?
By the halflings?
No, they're staying at the butcher shop. You now have no halflings that are following you.
What's it like?
Do I see Rook now?
Yep. No, you still don't. Actually, no, make a perception check. Let's see how well you go.
Not well. 7.
You do not. Absolutely not.
What time is it?
It's probably about 8 p.m. at this point. 7:38.
Okay.
Knowing that at that time, is the auction in the morning or is it just later on this evening?
From your perspective, from what you heard, it's an ongoing evening event.
I'm going to turn to the group and I'm going to do this. Obviously not to you because I can't see you. And I'm just going to say in everyone's head, you guys go Thulrom and Dench and I discussed a plan. I am going to track down Feriso. Gunnar, I forgot your name for a second. Gunnar, and everyone still hears this. Gunnar, can you message Feriso? And I'm going to give you the ability to talk back to me.
I can talk to you without you doing that, but no, not right now.
In everyone's heads, I'm going to say, can anyone find him by magical means? Otherwise, I'm going back to the university and hoping that he's there.
Give me 1 second just to see if I actually could do that.
Still just.
Where's Rook? I'm going to say at the same time.
He was inside.
So, Michele,
Mm-hmm.
Just another time you didn't care about me.
I just asked.
I'm going to take one of those. Remember those little bundles I made of bud and bone dust? I'm going to take one of those and take it and scrape most of the gunk off it, except for the bone.
The smell from that now is putrid.
Yuck.
And I'm going to use. Actually, no. Is there any kind of vegetation whatsoever anywhere near me?
Outside of a couple of houses, there are pot plants with pots. Speaking of which, I assume you did take Prickly Pete with you.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I'm going to run over to one of those and just grab the tree and just snap a twig off of it and use that to cast Locate Object. And within 1,000 feet of me, I'm looking to locate Feriso Delta Letters trademarked high-necked cloak, which I've seen and noticed many a time for its
You have noticed it.
style.
Which I was like, fuck! My plan is spoiled.
Oh, hang on.
No, that's okay. I'm just going to make everything up from now on.
Oh, right.
So...
Yeah, good.
No.
It doesn't work for us.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I'll write down every possible outcome. So with your eyes closed and your the components of your spell simply disappearing from your person, you gauge and you sense a familiar cloak in the direction of where you are now heading. The Aurora Gallery seems to be the location of where this cloak is currently abiding.
I'm going to turn to him and say, he's already at the auction.
Then I'm going ahead.
Yeah, that's good.
And I'm going to...
Is this all in your minds?
Yes, you must fall.
Yeah. I'm going to, like... my way there.
Okay.
Can I say one thing to you before you go?
Would I have known that you were going to say something to me?
Yeah.
My mouth was opened in anticipation.
Yep.
Tell him not to acknowledge us when we get there. It'll look very suspicious.
Okay.
Alright. As everyone else continues their way forward at a normal pace. Did you want to do anything else prior to arriving? For there's no unseeming circumstance or scenario that slows your travel. So you get there without a problem. But did you want to do anything in the meantime?
Along the way, I would turn to Dench and I'd say, because I overheard a little bit of that conversation, say, you sized up these halflings as we were on our way to the butcher's shop. What do you make of them?
The halflings are nothing. We could take them. Easy.
That's good to know. We may need to.
Dodgers, I owe you for getting me out of that dream space. You get one fight. Just point out who. Tell me when.
When the time comes, round face.
Round face.
I'd like to once again pass without a trace as well. If it's
Just on
by
you?
now. Yeah.
Cool.
Just make sure round face doesn't get away.
He doesn't like you could run fast.
Thulrom laughs. Thulrom laughs out loud. But aside from that, no, nothing.
Okay. So you all head in the direction of the Aurora Gallery, passing through fairly wide, well-traversed paths and roads, and you find yourselves going in the direction. You see a fairly light population moving back and forth. You see some guards. You see some people with carts that they are either using a horse and carriage to steer or pulling themselves if they're smaller. All closed up, however, for the day or for the evening. Then the sounds become slightly more hustle bustle. As Amara, you notice this first. An oval shaped building in the middle of a plaza with these homes and other small houses and shops surrounding it, and alleyways leading in all directions. This particular oval shaped building is one very tall, from the outside, very tall one-story abode. Once again, there seems to be a string instrument that seems to be emanating from this place, from the inside. And there seems to be a small crowd of very, very well-dressed patrons. A lot of them human, but then there are very tall, regal elves in glowing green and dark blue dresses that are standing outside in a small line waiting to come in. Into what looks to be a small room from where you're standing. Amari, you get there first and you notice that inside there seems to be just an atrium that, looking in, is very, very well lit, so it's not hard to make out this small room directly beyond that, with the doors open and many seats in a sort of a semicircle that surrounds a pedestal, and there seems to be someone speaking and holding what looks to be an item, a rock of some kind, that's floating slightly off of his hand. A very tall, thin, spectacled gentleman with long black hair and a silvery grey suit. Very thin, rectangular face. From there, you all get into the very, very center, very first images of that scene in front of you as well, where all at once, Amara, from where you are, you hear the voice close by, in the line, waiting to go in, and you see some people leaving as well. Some looking disappointed, others looking quite exuberant. Well, look who it is. If it isn't Barclays. And you see Bavolo in a golden yellow jacket and white pants with these weird looking jester looking shoes of white as well that end in a tassel. And he's wearing these like pauldrons as well with these golden tassels hanging down, very very stately, as he goes out of the line and walks up to you. I didn't see you. I wonder, what brings you to this place this time of night? I do, however, am very glad to see you safe after the Colosseum incident. Are you well?
I am well. Yeah, good to see you, Bavolo. Bidding big tonight?
Oh, very large, very large. I have some items of interest that I am very keen to set my sights on.
I see.
I'm going to interject there. What in particular has caught your interest?
Well, the next up is a scroll. This scroll has the powers to levitate, they say, whole houses, mountaintops even. I'm very keen to experiment. There's also this very interesting thing that was mined in the Moor Hold some time ago. A sapphire mask made entirely of sapphires. As well as this, There is this old key that seems to be just a spectacle now, no longer of use, but once opened any door in the world. Very keen to see what that has to offer.
I'm going to, as soon as he mentions the key, I'm going to widen my eyes deliberately and go, oh, that's the same item we're here for. Well, perhaps then a friendly wager between the two of us.
The wager will be had inside, my friend. The wager will be had inside. The bidding will be the wager itself, will it not? However, do you have another bet you'd like to place?
A friendly beer. For whoever gets their hands on the key, we should meet afterwards and have a drink to celebrate.
Beers are few and far between in terms of price. Are you thinking a silver for the mediocre ales that many of these inns and Galander establishments humbly offer? Or are you talking about the Oaks, newly established, very newly rebuilt and acting again, and these gold and several gold ales that they provide?
Only the best when I'm drinking with you.
Well, back to the Oaks that I go then, for I shall win, and you shall have to pay up.
I laugh merrily. I'm going to throw my hand around Barclay's, the Viper's shoulder, and lead him away.
I'm going to make eye contact with the Volo and go, ugh, and then continue my search for Feriso.
It is lovely to see you all. No, wait, no, don't take my friend away from me yet. Barclays, do you have any interesting items that you are bidding on this eve?
Well, I think we were interested in that key. It'd be nice to be able to unlock anything, right? What would you unlock?
If it really were a key to unlock everything and not simply a myth, or once was, I hear it's now rusted through and unusable. But if it did, I would probably start with some of the banks of House Kandak. Their locks are legend. They say that none can be opened. They say that several keys, plus some other little magical effects. Now, mind you, I am not going to steal anything, but it would just be for the experience.
I see, okay. Well, that's noted. Yeah. I guess if there is something spectacular that might show up of the perfume variety, I have an honor gift for a special wizard.
Who might this be?
Well, I tell you, if you win that bet with my friend over here,
Information is very valuable.
I might have to tell you.
What should I give you if I should lose this bet then? I always like a wager.
Do you have anything that I would need? Come on.
I could simply pay in gold. I could give a good word to the young mistress whom you are pursuing.
I might see you later, and maybe we can talk about maybe one of those fine flying beasts. Always would be good to have one handy, particularly around China.
A fine prize.
Yes.
But an unfair wager in my mind. Anything else that you can offer?
Are you planning to not win?
Ah. You drive a hard bargain, Barclays, but yes, you are right. I will. That bet is on. But you haven't introduced me. Who is this fine beast you bring along with you? Looking at Dench.
He's so upset.
He's thoroughly unimpressed with this guy so far. He's like, piss off, you knob.
Everyone is thinking.
He looks over at you, Barclays, and then you, Rook. How unseemly. Well, that I shall, for now. But you watch your tongue. I am worth more than you will ever be. Now.
Tell you what, if you want this one done, she'll be a freebie.
Shall we head inside? I was simply in the line for kicks, just to hear what the others are saying. But I can go in. I can bring you in immediately. Are you meeting anyone else here?
No, please, lead the way.
Very well. You will sit beside me and watch as I underhandedly take what should be yours. And others.
I chuckle, and as he walks away, I want to get right in Barkley's ear and say very, very quietly, make sure he wins. If this key is as valuable as he says it is, all of these elves and highborn people will be trying to win it. Goad him on, make sure he tries to beat us and takes the key, and we'll steal it off him at the Oaks.
That's such a great plan.
Very well.
And as he leads you inside, the entranceway has a couple of City Watch who wave you in after Bavolo speaks to them softly and points to you all. And you are led into a velvet green, dark green room. Yes.
Can I whisper to those guards on the way past?
Yeah, what do you want to say?
I'm going to say, Roundface says take off.
You sort of look at each other. The one that you talk to whispers back, "What do you mean?"
You know what I mean.
No, I don't.
Never mind. I'll keep on going. I'll keep on walking in.
Okay. And you head into this semicircle of a room. It looks like an arch in shape with a flat side at the very end. And you watch as there are a fair few people sitting. The seats themselves are not individual. They're long, and they seat probably about 10 or so side by side before there's a small gap and then another row. And there are probably about 10 of these rows. They are starting to fill quickly. And at the moment, this tall, rectangular-faced, older human gentleman with this rock that's hanging and floating is softly but clearly saying 70 gold, 70 gold, 70 gold. Do we have 80, 80, 80? And you see a hand raised on its side. 80 gold, 80 gold for the rock, 80 gold, 80 gold, 80 gold. Do we have more? Hands up. And you see another raise, and then that goes on for a couple of minutes, and the final price for this seemingly mundane looking rock ends up being about 130 gold pieces.
What does it look like?
Make a perception check.
Hey.
Just what? It was 24.
24.
With a
okay.
natural 20.
Looking at it closely, it has what looks to be a bit of natural formed diamond that seems to be jutting out of the side of it. It doesn't glow. It doesn't. It doesn't really shed any sort of light or magic that you are aware of. But it seems to have some sort of other material in the rock apart from. It does glitter slightly, and this one single piece of clear crystal or diamond that's out of it.
Who's betting on it?
Looking around, you do notice that there is a particular tall, old elven woman, very well dressed, fair skin, pink adornments on the right that ended up winning it. And on the very left, her only competitor was an old-looking dwarf. Monocle, white hair in a ponytail, and like dark skin, all wrinkled.
Are we able to bet? I mean, are we able to...
If you would like to bet in this particular one, yeah, you certainly can.
Bid, sorry, not bet.
Bet, yeah.
No, I'm not going to bid in this particular one, but I just want to know whether we are able to.
Yeah, you certainly can. I guess Bavolo did shed some light on the rules.
Yeah.
He simply said, "Now, when you bet, make sure you are betting. One of you is only betting for the party. You don't want to mix up your funds. Who will be the designated person?"
Best you do it, Barclays. This is your kind of crowd.
Okay.
Very well. I considered no one else. And then at that point, a a young man in what looks to be a full black suit with a nice green tie comes out, and on a cushion of red there seems to be a blue, dark blue, shining, reflective sapphire mask. It looks simple. There are 2 sockets for the eye, and this sort of rectangle looking like the iron mask. It's just a simple rectangular opening for the mouth, and this very small like bump that a nose would normally fit into. It shines. It's definitely sapphire looking.
Looks
and
like
it
your
is
face right now, right?
essentially, yes. And as this auctioneer takes it, he simply puts the cushion and the mask onto a small desk in front of him. So it leans slightly towards the crowd, and you hear an audible "oh," leaning forward.
Sorry, is there an auctions guide?
Looking around, there does seem to be a couple of small booklets that are beside you.
Okay. Oh wow. Pick it up.
Yep. Okay. Are you looking for this information about the?
Well, sure. As the items come through, I'd expect they might.
I'm gonna peek over his shoulder.
Yeah, sure. So as you look through Barclays, you notice that there is a little bit of writing about this particular mask. So, Mask of Kubara is the title, and it says long forgotten, and hold on, let me just find this note here. Long forgotten and dug up from the lizardmen of Kubara. This piece is a rarity among the ancient circles of the lizard folk. They use it for their shamanistic, or they did use it, sorry, for their shamanistic rituals, and no longer do so, as their practices have changed, making this a very valuable ancient history piece. Yep.
It's anthropological.
Yeah, I can read. Thanks.
Oh, you're looking at my shoulder.
I would be searching the room for Feriso, even if it meant leaving these guys. Can I see him anywhere?
Make a perception check. As you do, the auctioneer quietly but clearly says, "Okay, this piece, the Mask of Kubara, a starting bid of 1,000 gold pieces." And as you watch, suddenly a hand is raised, and someone yells out from the side, 1,200. 1,200 gold pieces. 1,200. Do I have 13? 13. Do I have 1,300? 100, 1,300 for this mask, for the mask, 1,300. You hear 1,300 from behind you. 1,300. Do I have 15? 1,500? 1,500. And then another one, a separate person again. 1,500. 1,500 for the mask. 1,500 for the mask. Mask. Do I hear 17? 1,700. Do I hear 1,700? 100, 1,700. And then another one, a separate again. 1,700. And you look to the side, and Feriso has bid. His back is leaning against the wall of a velvet green carpet, making the whole place look a little bit eerie with even with the bright lighting. And the auctioneer continues, 1,700, 1,700, 1,700. Do I hear 19, 1,900, 1,900?
18.
He said 19.
No, he said 17.
Feriso bid the 17.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you want?
18.
Can I
18.
ask, is this on? This thing's on display, isn't it?
It's on display.
I see it. And,
Yep.
Okay.
What was that bid, sir?
18.
1,800, 1,800. Do I hear 1,800? Do I hear 1,900? 1,900. Do I hear 19? And at that point, you notice Feriso looking in your direction and giving you a bit of a nod, and almost a gesture of.
What does that mean?
You're not sure.
Do I see this?
Yep.
I'm going straight over.
Okay. So you watch Amara jump up and start to head over. 1,900. Do I hear 1,900? And Bavola holds his hand up and looks to you, Barclays, and gives you a bit of a wink. 1,900. 1,900, 1,900. Do we hear 2,000? Do we hear 2,000? 2,000. Do we hear 2,000?
2,000.
I don't have $2,000. I mean, gold.
We'll have to use some platinum.
The Bavola looks to you and gives you a bit of a grin. 2,200. 2,200, 2,200. Do we hear 2,300? Do we hear 23? Another person randomly behind you. 2,300. 2300, 24, 24, 24. And Mara, at this point, you've come across and you have, you are next to Feriso. And he looks at you and sort of looks you up and down a little bit in a low tone. Is everything alright?
No,
Why?
I can't say here.
In your mind, then, he says, is this more appropriate? You can respond.
I'm gonna say back. Boromar clan is here and are trying to blackmail Thulrom into bidding on the skeleton key, and they dropped your name.
In your mind, he says, the Boromar clan is dangerous. They dropped my name. How so?
They mentioned that we should not trust you and that you would be after this item as well.
Gives a bit of a nod of acknowledgement to that comment, and he says, it is an item which I am bidding for another, and that would be best if this key did not go into the hands of a thieves guild. Why do they want you to bid on it?
They have someone that's connected to Thulrom, and it's the only way he can get them back.
So you bring the key to them and they give you this person.
Yes. That's infected with the Red Death?
He sort of closes his eyes for a moment and his hand goes up as though pondering. In your mind, he says, you are saying that they have one of these beings.
Yes. And Thulrom would like to kill all of the halflings that are holding this dwarf hostage. They also operate out of a butcher, and I don't like that at all. So I mean, I'm not opposed to them all dying. Some of them are just trying to feed their families, though, so maybe not all of them. We might need your help for that.
We are at a bit of an impasse, I'm afraid. This being that is suffering, I'm concerned that if you do not give the key to them, that they might do something terrible to the populace. Perhaps let it leave so it can infect others, and Shan does not need that right now. On the other hand, giving them the skeleton key is going to provide them with powers that the Shan Watch and beyond may not have the number to put a stop to. How concerned is Thulrom about this person?
Thulrom is Thulrom.
Yes, and not very.
The other thing I would say is... Fuck. The other thing I would say is that we can't let Barclay's friend Bavolo get it just because I don't like him.
No, do not worry. I've got something to alleviate that.
Like what?
Never you mind. He gives you a bit of a smirk.
I really want to know. I hate him so much.
He sort of gives you a grin and nods and says, "Yes, he's not my favorite. We've had dealings, bets which I've lost, and
you know everyone. You know everyone.
I know most. I know the people who I need to know. Now, facing them is going to be difficult. I don't deny that you all have the potential, but that might result in harm, and I, like always, do not wish to see harm put upon you. And if you do confront them, make sure that their quarry is not let go or killed. That, or hidden away again, to put up at ransom, like he is basically doing now. The Boromar clan have many arms. This particular one at this butcher shop I'm aware of, but they are just one part of a very long list in Shan. So they can easily move this person from one place to another.
Why would Round Terry say not to trust you? I hate saying that.
There are things that I have done, that I am doing, which you may not have an interest, but they are things that other people might see as unlawful. But they are a necessity in some cases. Just know that, and trust, and do not believe him.
Does he sound like he's being like...
Go for it.
Yeah. I don't know how else to word it sometimes. Inside. 17.
17? Okay. Let me just send you something. In the meantime...
I would also just
Yes.
like to quickly add. Did you know that we were in the Dreaming Dark?
So Forrest's brow a little bit. I was told, yes.
Okay. It was bad, just so you know, but it's kind of good as well. Anyway, that's a story for another time. Just curious, because Barclays just appeared out of nowhere. Cool. Thanks.
He sort of gives you a nod and says, do what you think is best. If I bid and win the skeleton key, I will... we will probably discuss this further to see whether it is best to give it to them or not.
Is there somewhere safe we can meet you afterwards, so
Just-
that we're not seen together now?
Just follow me afterward, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
In the meantime... 2200, 2200, 2200 for Mars, the Mars, 2200. And you hear another person, yes, 2200. 23, do I hear 23, 23, 2300? Bavolo puts his hand up, 2300.
I speak to Barclays. Barclays, do you still have those green crystals?
Sure, here they are.
Where are they?
I'll look around. Is there any way that you can put anything up for auction?
You do, excuse me, you do notice that the young man with the suit is standing on the side. Looking at the pamphlet, it does read that there are instances where you can offer up and donate certain items for auction if you'd like, and to speak with the coordinator. You're not quite sure who the coordinator is, but there does seem to be instruction on how to.
Okay. I'll take crystals and talk to the young man.
Okay.
I have a couple of bits of equipment I'd wish to auction off here.
What's that, sir?
And I pull it out and show him the green shard.
Red shard?
Green shard.
Which ones are these? Are these the ones you found in the Mornland?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. And there are 3 of them, yeah?
Just one of them.
Oh, just the
I'm
one.
showing, yeah.
Okay. He looks down at it for a moment. What is it, sir?
Something that we found in the Mornland, something I wish to be appraised. And see what we can get for this.
Very well. It may take some time to appraise, however, sir.
How long?
A day?
So not within tonight's bidding.
Most likely not, so I'm sorry. The pamphlet and the booklet have been made out already. Unless you exactly know what it does.
Tuck it back a little bit. Your guests here, they're all aristocrats and well-knowledgeable people, yeah?
Collectors?
With their intelligence might know what this is.
That person might. And he points to this very, very old-looking woman who's just has her hands in her lap, looking down. Every now and again, she puts her hand up just without looking up at all. She has these large spectacles on. She has this this hive, this nest of dark brown hair with bits of white coming out of it. She's stooped over and she's sort of in the corner of the room.
I look down at it and I contemplate for myself. I wish to put this on blindly.
Very well, sir. The cut that you will receive, however, for this would only be about 5%, not the full 15%, if it were appraised.
I have a feeling amongst the people in this room for who they would see it for, it might show great interest in it.
Still 5%, sir.
5% is fine.
Okay. And he takes it from you.
I hand it over.
It'll be the last thing after the key. He puts it down and puts it in
Okay.
a little pouch that he's got. Take a seat, please. And as you watch, the bid for the mask goes up to 2,500. That was a bid from Feriso, and it's going for, counting once, counting twice, and sold. And sold.
As soon as it's sold, I lean forward and I look over at Bavolo. I say, look at that. Looks like you haven't got the biggest wallet in the room.
I have the biggest something, though.
Is Feriso still in the room?
He is.
What does he have? What's so big? I don't get it.
Can I go over to Feriso as
Yep.
well? Just join Amara and Feriso.
Mm-hmm.
They're watching the auction.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sit by.
Okay.
Is it his nose?
The next thing that comes up is the just a scroll. It's wrapped in a red silken ribbon. The parchment itself is worn and like a dark brown color, but it's thick. It's thick parchment, and it's rolled of many times. And the auctioneer takes it, and clearly he says, "The scroll of movement, once held by some of the best archmages in Corvair, given to them for safekeeping just before the Great Wars finish. This is known to be something that can bolster and lift many a heavy thing, and can be used by you, or simply increase itself in value for none other type of spell in existence, it seems, may have the same powers. Let us start the bidding at 3,000 gold pieces. 3,000. Do I hear 4? Do I hear 4? Do I hear 4? He seems to be now going up in increments of 1,000. And as he does, you do see one person hold up. And it's the old lady at the very corner, hold up a hand. 4,000. Do I hear 5? Do I hear 5? Do I hear 5,000? Do I hear 5,000?
Same with the pink.
Yes. No. A very old, shriveled old lady in the corner of the room.
I'm gonna go sit next to her.
Okay. You'll watch as Gunnar goes to the end. Bavolo lifts his hand. 5,000. 5,000 gold. 5,000 gold pieces. 5,000 gold. 5,000 gold. Do I have 6? Do I have 6?
Hi.
6. Hello, dear.
My name's Gunnar.
I'm sorry, Gunnar. I'm simply quite busy at the moment.
I can see that. What are you buying?
She puts her hand up.
9.
9,000 gold pieces. 9,000 gold pieces. Do I hear 10? Do I hear 10?
You're about to be beaten by an old wizard and an old woman, Bavolo.
Yes, but the bet I have with you, to me now, is the more important. Save my money, would you say?
Exactly. Perhaps we should put a bet of our own on, or an offer of our own.
10,000. Do I hear 10? Do I hear 11? Do I hear 11,000? Do I hear 11,000 gold pieces?
No.
What's your name?
She sort of puts her hand, like pats her hand on your head for a moment, and she sort of looks intently at everyone else in the room.
She got the highest bid still.
She does at 10,000. You see the like a younger man lift his hand up for 11, and then she immediately lifts her hand for 12. After, do you guys want to do anything? No. After the 12, it is sold to this quite old lady next to you, and she sort of smiles slightly as it is brought over to her by the young man and handed to her.
What is that?
None of your business.
What does
You're
it say
very
in the-
rude.
What does it say in the pamphlet?
It simply says the Scroll of Moving, once owned by the elves of Arenal. This particular piece of magic used to be able to lift armies and bring them to their knees, create earthquakes and lift the very earth around them. This particular spell and the magic that came from it has been lost. Ancient magic, far before the magic of nowadays or today's potential has occurred.
I hand the pamphlets to these guys as well. So
Yeah,
they
cool.
can-
The next item that comes out is in a glass and wooden case. And as the auctioneer opens it up and puts it onto this little desk, you all see what looks to be a large golden skeletal skull, just a large golden skull at the very base of this long key. And this skull has little diamonds that sparkle on the inside and within the eyes and other parts of it. And you see this long bone, looks like just a straight carved ivory material. And then at the end of it, you see something odd. The end of it has what looks to be just a several incremental key at the end of it, whatever you would call that particular part. And then it shifts and changes and changes and changes and changes and changes. It gets faster and faster and whirls and whirls and whirls and changes. And this thing, the studs and the little pieces that make up the end of this skeletal key or skeleton key just continually shift into this other shapes, whether they be round, dented, all different styles, large, small. The auctioneer says, "This is a skeleton key, possibly one of the last ever in existence in Corvair. This piece has been crafted by the very own Shaw, the last master thief in Corvair. Using the help and magics of Warforged and Artificers, it had been used to open any lock, now lies dormant, and the magic within it gone. But a piece, an artifact of renown. Now, the bidding starts at 5,000 gold pieces."
Can I Can I telepathically speak to Rook and say, I've spoken to Feriso. We should follow him after this auction, is what he's said. He is also bidding on this, and he's happy to discuss what we should do with it. Tell the others.
Can I reply?
Yes.
Can you? Yep.
Yeah.
I think you should keep Feriso for the last auction.
What?
I think you should keep Feriso for the last auction.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't just be walking out. I said following the auction.
As in taking the key and then leaving? Or?
No. I mean, at the end of the auction.
Okay. Then yes. I thought I overheard that we were going to kill him.
No, that was us lying to avoid detection. Quick, tell the others.
I'm next to you.
Bavolo puts his hand up. 7,000 gold pieces.
Marcus, we can afford 8.
7,000. 7,000? 7,000 gold pieces. 7,000. 7,000. 8,000 gold pieces. Bavolo puts his hand up. 8,000. Do I hear 9? Do I hear 9,000? Do I hear 9,000 gold pieces? Do I hear 9,000?
Can I cast
We'll pour around
Detect Thoughts on... And I'm focusing on Bavolo.
On Bavolo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just want his surface emotions. I'm not going to push too hard.
Sure.
Did you send me something, by the way? Because I did not get anything.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, you mean for...
My insight roll.
Yeah, sorry. I will do that right now.
That's all good.
You push the psychic magic, the emotions that you receive initially, very, very surface, not very emotional. You feel a push, a sense of simply pride and triumph.
Confidence?
And, yeah, there's a confidence there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll telepathically from my seat next to this grumpy old woman, I'll message Barclays. Bid again.
$8,000 gold pieces, 8,000, 8,000, 8,000. Do I hear 9? Do I hear 9? Do I hear 9?
Follows response.
A random person behind says 12. The random person behind says 12,000 gold pieces. And you look behind you and you see what looks to be an older, well-suited gentleman, a halfling. Just put his hand up and then down again. Looking over to you all and giving you a bit of a wink. 12,000 gold pieces, 12,000, 12,000. Do I hear 12? Do I hear 12? Do I hear 13? 13, 13. Do I hear 13? 13.
What's Bavolo's emotional response to that?
13,000 gold pieces. You hear another random person. 15. Look over, you see the same pink dressed elf. Put her hand up and bid. 15,000 gold pieces, 15,000, 15,000. Do I hear another? Do I hear another? Do I hear another? Do I hear 16? Do I hear 16? 16? 16,000? 16,000?
I'm gonna turn to Bavolo and say, you only win the bet if you win the key, you know.
If none of us win the bet, then I guess I owe you nothing. Even I have my limits. I'm thinking, Thulrom. 16? Do I hear 16? Do I hear 16,000? Feriso puts his hand up. 16. 17! The halfling puts his hand up next. 17,000, 17, 17. Do I hear 18? The elven woman. 18. 18,000, 18,000, 18,000 gold pieces. 18. Do I hear 19? Do I hear 19? Anyone for 19? Anyone for 19? Bavolo looks around at you all, looks at you, Barclays, and gives you a slight shake of the head.
What do you guys want to do?
I look and go, I guess my pockets aren't as deep as Bavolo's. Looks like you're just the same as me and Dench over here, Bavolo. Can't afford to keep up with the likes of Feriso of the 12, I say, trying to convince him.
Make a persuasion check.
Hey. $17.
17?
17.
He sort of looks kind of uncomfortably as he shuffles around, tentatively and slowly, putting his hand up. 20. 20,000 gold pieces. 20,000. Do I hear 21? 21? Do I hear 21?
Can I talk? Because we're next to Feriso.
Yeah.
Feriso, can you let this slide?
He looks down at you, and in your mind he says, "Why? We do not want someone else getting their hands on this, and if they disappear, then what?"
I feel like this is an artifact that shouldn't be in the hands of the wrong people. And you're a part of the 12. Surely your pockets are deep enough?
20,000 is my limit. That's a lot of money, but Volo has more than I do. What can you do?
And what kind of things would you imagine that could happen if someone could unlock the power of this key?
They could run riot, they could cripple economies.
And you still don't have the power to take more.
There is one other person that can give me this aid. He then walks over and leans over a gentleman you hadn't really taken too much notice of. Fairly well dressed in a sort of a green and pink looking doublet. Otherwise fairly mundane in look, like the rest of the crowd. But you two make a perception check, please.
Oof. Yeah, I didn't do too well.
15.
Mine's nonsense. 3.
A 3? Okay. Yeah, you both don't notice anything, too amazing about this gentleman who has this this black beard, short, whispers something to Feriso, who leans back, gives a bit of a nod, leans back, and gives you both a bit of a wink, puts his hand up and says, 30,000 gold pieces. 30,000. Do we have 32? 32,000 gold pieces. 33. And at that point, no one replies. 33 going once. 33 going twice. 30 going once. Sorry. 30 going twice. 30 going twice. Sold. And you hear this very polite and slight clap as the key and its case is closed and handed to Feriso. He sort of gives you all a nod and he starts to walk out.
Feriso starts to walk out. Feriso, I think it's in your best interest to stay for the next bidding.
Sort of looks at you in confusion as the red crystal now comes out and the auctioneer says, "This is a late entry, a blind bidding for this lovely red crystal. Coming from the Mournland. Green crystal. Coming from the Mournland, an unknown origin. Can I start the bidding at 300 gold pieces?"
10 silver.
I'm sorry, sir. The bidding starts at 300.
Is Feriso staying or leaving?
He seems to have seems to have caught his attention slightly, and you notice that he puts the case away into a small bag he has on his side, and sort of leans in a little bit at the crystal, and he looks at you. In your mind, he says, "Why?"
I've heard this crystal's from the Mournlands.
Do you know what it does?
Well, no.
Then why do you bid it?
I was hoping amongst the people that are here, with all their intelligence, they might be able to decipher something that I don't know.
They might, and then they may take this and disappear with it.
Then it's good that we know who takes this crystal.
If we can find them.
I'm quite attuned to it. We can find them.
Very well. 300 turns to 600 as the elven lady in the pink seems particularly interested, where the halfling bids 1,000 gold pieces, and then a couple of other gentlemen bid 12 and then 1,500. It then goes up to 1,800 with the lady in the pink again. No one else seems to be bidding apart from that at the moment. Feriso looks at you and looks back at this lady in the pink dress and the pink hat. Are you guys doing anything else?
I'm going to turn to Balvolo and laughingly say, "Oh, it's good luck that you didn't get that key. I was going to shank you later on at the Oaks and steal it off you." I laugh out loud. Just kidding. I slap him on the back.
Yes, what a joke. He puts his hand up. 3,000 gold pieces. And the auctioneer says 3,000 gold pieces for this a somewhat unknown but very lovely looking green crystal. Anyone else? Any other bits? And you see the elven woman look over, this wicked looking anger in her eyes as she looks over at Bravolo and gives him a bit of a shake of the head. And he sort of looks back and gives her a bit of a wink and a... And
How far away is she standing?
she's sitting a portion over. So there's a gap where a walkway is, and so she's sitting about 5 meters away.
Oh, okay, beautiful. I'm going to say it remains the same.
She suddenly sits up, looks around, and turns back as she shakes her head, and the bid is won by Bavolo as he takes the green crystal. Well, at least I own something of yours. I bid you a good evening. And you see...
Does he know his house? Does he know his house?
He must have seen you hand it over to the boy. That was basically in that room.
Cool.
So he did notice you hand it over as he gives you all a bit of a farewell, and you watch as he leaves, and the crowd starts to now get up and make their own way around.
I'm keeping my eyes on Feriso.
Yep, he stays where he is. He looks and sees that most of the people are actually leaving. And he sort of is curious, and he sort of beckons you in all of your minds now, including yours, Dench. Perhaps in the room is best then. The outside may be crowded with people that are speaking of their wins. But as you watch, the pink-dressed lady quickly follows after Bavolo as well.
This is the elven lady?
Yes.
Okay.
Did I hear a curious halfling throwing some bids on there?
Yep.
Sounded similar to the ones
Yep.
we met earlier.
He sure did.
Do I see that halfling in the room still?
He's sort of getting up and going up. He's talking to the auctioneer at the moment.
Is Feriso still in earshot of me?
Yep, he's next to you.
I say to him, then there may be a woman here that knows more about this crystal than we do.
Who is this?
The elven woman in pink.
Very well. If you like, you can follow her. You say you can locate it quite easily. Perhaps if you don't mind, perhaps staying for a while, and we can discuss this key before you pursue her.
Yes.
I'm going to move over to near where he is, but I'm not going to acknowledge him.
Okay.
I'm just going to sit and look in a different direction.
You overhear a conversation going on, and they seem to be discussing putting up another item for auction on the next day. You hear the halfling sort of in low tones, but you can make it out. So I've got this jewel. It's like my family jewel. It's quite valuable. It's green. It's big. It's not magical. There's nothing magical about it. But I just don't need it. I need the money. I need the gold. So anyway, if you can do me a deal, maybe 20%. And the auctioneer looks down. No, it's normally 15. No, you know us. You know what we can do. So make it 20. And you see the auctioneer sort of shifty-eyed and blinks for a moment. Very well, 20%. Tomorrow. And he sort of gives him a nod. He scribbles something on a piece of parchment that the auctioneer hands to him, and then they leave. The auctioneer and the halfling part ways. The room becomes quiet, and Feriso looks at the auctioneer who gives him a bit of a nod, and the auctioneer leaves the room, leaving Feriso and you all. Yes.
How much of that bid did we get?
Yeah, the 5% of the 3,000?
Yep.
5,000.
Did you say 5%?
5%.
Yes. 5%. Yeah, nothing.
Shit.
I need to do some calculations. Yeah.
$1.
$5.
150. 150 gold.
Wait, do we get or do we pay them for all?
No, you get that as a cut.
Bro, that's all.
That's a rod.
So maybe we learn something.
It was a
Hopefully.
it was an unnamed, unidentified item. So
It's 15%, isn't it? I think.
yeah,
For an appraised item.
for an appraised item, correct, of the final cost. So
Sorry.
you are all in the room. Feriso takes out the case. Now, there's only one other person in the room now, and it's the same gentleman with the black beard that Feriso initially talked to, who then caused Feriso to up the bidding, and he's simply sitting, looking forward.
Who's your friend? In his mind.
Feriso looks at you and smirks, and he says, "Let me introduce you again." And he turns and he gives a slight bow and says, "Your Majesty, Thulroms Five, and one other, once again." And King Boronel stands, and he sort of shifts a little bit, and you can see a small circlet, seemingly out of nowhere, that he puts back onto his head. This drawn skin, pale, and he sort of almost struggles to get up, and he looks around towards you all, and in a voice that almost isn't his own, and is a little bit hard to understand. It's he's sort of catching his breath. He says, "Well, it's good to see you again.
You're unwell?
Unfortunately. It's okay. At the moment, it's not contagious, so don't be alarmed." As you can see, some little beads of sweat along his brow. Feriso looks towards you and says, "So, the king wanted to make sure that the skeleton key did in fact find its way to good hands. He did not want the economies to fall, and here we are. It is safe. For now. But it is good to have his ear, I would imagine, to discuss the next steps."
Fabrizio, I have agreed to betray you. I should. Round Terry captured us. Round Terry and took us to his lair. And ultimately is holding a sufferer of the Red Death hostage. The warden of the Dreadhold.
I did not know the warden. I'm not sure of what import that is of the particular person, but I do know having a sick, unprotected person of the Red Death in the city is quite alarming for the king. King Baronel's just standing now, observing.
Then there are two ways we can approach this. You can give us the key, and we can go and trade it for this sick person, and then you can steal it back afterwards. Or you can give us men, and we'll go back and burn this butcher's shop to the ground, with the warden inside of it.
We could have done that without them.
No, we would definitely have died.
Well, how do you think you will not die now?
Because with your men and Fabrizio of the 12, there'll be no match for us.
Feriso says, the Boromar clan is not as short-sighted as you may believe. They seem to simply be a large act, a circus troupe in your eyes, but really they have been a thorn in our sides for years. I would suffice to say, if you return with this key, I imagine this butcher may simply not exist, and you will find that there is simply instructions of where to drop it off. That's how they work. They do not stay in one hideout, one base forever. Otherwise, they would have been caught some time ago, at least destroyed by House Dask. Now, that puts us in a bind, I would imagine. If you need to simply put it somewhere safe, secreted, that would need to be a guarantee to them that you will do so. Do you have anything else that you can think of that might work or help? If this were to happen, if they are there, and I am completely wrong, then please, I will accompany you, of course, and we will set this place alight, and I will be very, very happy with this.
They did also mention that this warden has information. Something that might lead to a cure.
King Boronel speaks at this point, and he says, a cure. Well, not to sound excited, but that would please me greatly. Feriso has kindly allowed me to go outside, to be in public with some magics that he has been able to uncover to protect me while I am walking around, and fear not, you are not going to be afflicted with my close proximity. But I feel that this is not the best time for me to die, or at least be incapacitated.
You have it?
The symptoms are the same, but I have yet to succumb fully. How I got it? I was foolish. I let one of these things, one of these beings, into my fold to try and give it some sort of confidence that we would help. But the things that come from the Red Death, these creatures, I need to call them, they're no longer civilized, they're no longer intelligent, they are blabbering husks. They're not headless, like the rumors say, but their faces, their skulls, the skin has peeled, blistered, worn off, melted even. It is as though they do not have a head. That is the after effect of these evils that these drow have concocted. And it is contagious. Quite so. If you have information about a cure, then we are at an impasse. I feel like I'm still the best here to govern. I do not have someone to take over my line. I feel with a war-forged army on our doorstep, and this disease, and whatever else is going on around us, spies, if not to sound too important, but should I die, it may not look good.
Then perhaps a replica. If you could duplicate this key, not a functioning copy, but one that looks close enough, we could use it to find out whatever information we can.
That will take some time to have the magic to have this shifted, changed. Do you mean to have this key be able to open things?
No, just look convincing enough in the moment that when we pass it over.
Just make sure they don't want to test it. They are sly and they are ready. Just make sure that when you give it to them, that they don't have something that they are going to try it out on to prove of it.
benefit to hand over the actual key and see what these guys are doing inside their base. And if we can take them there, seems like their boss controls them and that the halflings are just there because they're paid. If they stop being paid and the boss is taken out,
That is another
we
option.
can end 2 problems.
That is another option. Give them the real key and have enough of your agents surrounding them that they can't possibly escape.
Surely you nightingales can assist us on this.
We can send some, yes. Feriso will go with you.
I turn to Feriso and say, you must change the way you look. They expect as they understand it, I betrayed you and I want you dead. It won't make much sense if we're seen together approaching their base.
He nods. Yes, that's fine. I can do that. Do I simply accompany you as another friend?
I turn to the others. What do you all think?
I think
Mara?
absolutely you shouldn't look like yourself. However, that halfling that was here, if he's a part of the clan, it's not like I've been subtle by standing next to Feriso all night.
No.
Nor
but he-
have I, but no one knows that I was with you.
That is true. He did also see me spend the whole night betting against Feriso and goading on our friend Bavolo.
But he also saw that Feriso won the bet. The bid. So
Yes.
he knows that Feriso won it.
Is there a way for me to fake my death?
Maybe
Yes.
Feriso could
We could kill you and then
go as
bring you
Bavolo.
back.
Yeah, we'll just kill you. That'll be fine.
Why do we need to fake your death?
None of the halflings knew that I was in league with you. I wasn't there the whole time.
Why
Okay,
would
but-
I?
But why would you need to die?
Why would I going as Bavolo would help Barclays?
Because they saw that he didn't win the key.
Hmm. Should I go as Bavolo then?
Or you could go as Rook. No one saw Rook.
I guess.
No, Rook.
I'm so confused.
Rook we want with us as well. It'll be confusing if there's 2 of him.
2 rooks, yes, I agree. Perhaps Bavolo is the right choice.
It is simple, I think. From here, we will leave all of us separately. First, Thulroms 5. There's 5 of us, I include you in that. Thulroms 5.
That's sweet of you, mate. We go Thulrom and we're the 5.
And after we've been gone, you will alert the guards of this place that the key has been stolen. Change your form and meet us after readying the nightingales. We'll walk together and approach the butcher, and if they're there, drop up the key, speak to this dwarf, and then turn on them. I imagine you'll make some kind of grand reveal at the time.
Oh, it would be grand, all right.
Yeah, something flashy. And when we're done, we'll have a cure, save the king, and also all the other people that are afflicted by this disease.
Retribution by the Boromar clan will be swift. I didn't.
That's short.
Most likely.
Yes.
I'm so glad I
You
came back
dropped
to
it.
this.
Yes, there may be a need for a halfling smackdown, but none of us want that.
I'm not.
I don't know if anyone saw this. Probably not. But I was really sneaky. But when I was leaving, well, when I was following you, Thulrom, I may have grabbed one of these halflings and questioned it. And she
Yes, it.
and she filled me in and told me that she didn't actually know what she was working for. She just was there to earn money. I don't know if murdering everyone is the greatest of ideas.
No.
But it's fine.
I did, however, maybe murder her. I'm not sure. I smacked her head very hard.
No, we don't want to just go in there blindly. We want to capture as many as we can. We're not lawless.
Why not?
We have laws. Those laws just will accept. Up until they surrender, it's well within the law to halfling smackdown.
Feriso, if you had it your way, how would you deal with the Boromir clan?
My king needs my aid. It is a complication, I know. I'm sorry, Your Majesty, but you are. And they sort of look at each other and grin slightly. And Feriso continues, because His Majesty is ill, that is where the complication lies. So the skeleton key must be returned. That is no question. For at the moment, there's no other victim of the Red Death around that might know more than what your warden might. Now, with that said, they are a formidable force. Here is where we must think about your safety. You will be hunted if you turn on them. Even after this is just but one strand. So here is my suggestion. For your safety, and so assassins do not murder you in the night while I am not watchful enough. Perhaps leaving Shan might be the key here.
Feriso, didn't you say that Red Death victims are blabbering, mindless people?
For the most part, yes.
Then how is this victim going to give us any information?
There are stages of this disease. They get to a point where they no longer are cohesive.
How do we know that he is not already at that point, though? This is a big risk.
At the moment, you're taking the word of the Boromir clan. I guess it is a risk that I am asking you to take, and I will be there with you to run the same risk. I will not leave you to be drawn into a trap if I can be there to help.
So you suggest we give them the real key?
They will try and find a way to have you. They will test it. Have no doubt about that. So with that, I feel like giving them the key. The real key is the best option.
And once we've given them the real key and found out, how will we get it back?
He looks at you, Rook.
I don't feel like the key is quite important.
It's important to Feriso. I don't care about the key either.
The consequences that it would have if it is in their hands perhaps will not affect you.
What they could do with the key could be quite dangerous, but what we want to do is lure the snake out. So we can cut it off at its head.
If you can study, how long do you need to study a piece of equipment before you can locate it?
Great question, because that's what I wanted to ask you before. I've been this key for in the auction house.
Yeah.
And now it's past hands.
Yeah.
This is like 10 minutes.
So the description, I believe it's something that is familiar to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, that's vague.
It is.
As long as it's familiar. I've been looking at it for a while.
You have been looking at it. Know the thing for what it looks like.
Yeah.
You haven't picked it up yet. Have a feel for it. All of that sort of thing could take. Yeah. Not tasting. All that sort of thing can be maybe a 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
I feel like 10 minutes has passed since the auction.
But you haven't actually physically picked it up. But yes, once you do that, and even with the journey back to the butcher shop, if that's where you want to go next, is going to be enough time.
Okay. Might I ask, can I handle the key?
Of course. And he opens the case and you pick it up. It's cold to the touch, and it almost, at the end where that shifting occurs of the shape at the end, it tickles and then it hurts as barbs appear, and then it goes into a smooth yeah. So it's ever changing.
Yeah.
And cold.
Might I be left with it for a few moments? Jeez, awkward as that sounds.
It does sound like
So we're heading back to the shop now, and I will be Bavolo.
Yes. I think it's time for us to leave.
Very well.
I don't see this ending well.
We must try, and may luck be in our favor, I guess.
Can I...
Just before you do.
I was just going to ask, is the Eldine Reaches not part of Borinel's land?
Yeah, that's correct. So Breland ends at that dotted line here. So the Silver Lake is where the border lies. Now you're here, Sean, at the bottom. And so where you were was around the gloaming. Around here.
This may be outside of your lands, but if you're after the Red Death, I stumbled across a drow city in the Eldine Reaches where they seem to have been experimenting on dwarves with the Red Death.
Feriso looks at you intently and he says, I'm sorry, we haven't been introduced. Feriso Doldoletta.
Dench.
And you say you've seen this Red Death, and you say they've been experimenting.
I was exploring the Underdark, and I stumbled across a drow city. And as I come across the actual city itself, I saw the drow experimenting on what were obviously not voluntary participants. They mentioned the Red Death, but I did not see much of what was going on. I had to escape, as they had seen me as I approached.
By all reports, there are no scouts or explorers that have detected a drow city below the Eldine Reaches, which is very interesting. It might be a breakthrough. So, perhaps it is somewhere to explore. If they have a base there, perhaps they have some sort of antidote with them. If they've been experimenting, an experiment usually means they don't want their victims to be destroyed. Victims. That could be a way to a means to an end here. So thank you for sharing that. Well, and he, in a moment, changes form. His face becomes fairer, his golden hair appears, white teeth, and a suit, or a cloak even, of pure golden silk. I guess we better get going then. How do I sound? You would know me best, Barclays. Do I sound like Bavolo?
Look at Amara. Yes.
Yeah.
Sound like Amara. Keep talking. No. Keep talking.
Very well.
I'm gonna
Go on.
turn to Rook and say, may I have the key? It'll be most believable if I'm the one that hands it over to him.
Do you have a look at it, Luna?
You have.
Awesome. Yes, here you go. I think I can identify this from a distance.
Tuck it into my cloak.
Alright. As you hand over the key, you almost, as it gets pocketed by Thulrom, you can almost still see it behind Thulrom's cloak, like an X-ray vision as it disappears after a moment.
Sliding and checking.
And with that,
Wait.
Bavolo, you hold that thought. As Bavolo, or Feriso in this case, bows to King Boronel, a respectful bow. The king bows slightly towards him and to you all as a nod of acknowledgement. And he sits back down with this, now that you see it, a slight nimbus, a bubble around him.
Has King Boronel left yet?
No, he sits back down. He simply sits now and looks ahead. Can
I grab him by the... Let's grab him by the shoulder.
Yep.
Remember, you still owe me a joust, or a bout. I've got much to learn from you, so you can't die yet.
The king looks at you and gives you a bit of a weak nod and says, the first round is yours, should I heal?
I couldn't face you now, so let us get back your health.
He sort of nods and gives you a pat on the back, and you all start to exit this Aurora Gallery in the upper central of Shan as you make your way into the darkness once more, only blocks away from once again meeting face to face with the Boromar clan.
I see what you did there. Meet in.
The Boromar clan and your next targets. And we will end it there for this evening. Yeah.
Oh, it's a combination of fast and slow combat. I don't know.
I feel like the introduction is going to be a lot of fighting.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. Hopefully you enjoyed our amazing costumes that you guys...
Sweaty.
I'm not.
I'm actually not.
No,
But
crazy.
Do costume and better.
That's true.
Can I take this off now?
Yes, you can.
I'm not taking this wig off on the stream.
That's fair. It's just a waterfall.
Damn.
Don't go chase. No,
So-
it's not sweaty. It's
Yeah,
just
good.
I look bald.
Okay. I think everyone wants to see that though. Maybe next stream, but
Green hair.
we're gonna head off, guys. Congratulations to our amazing glass winner, Declan DDY, and we'll see everybody next week. And
Thanks, Meeples and Dragons.
Thank you,
Yes,
Meeples and
thank you
Dragons.
so much, Meeples and
Thank you,
Dragons.
everyone, you guys for RPing like bosses, and keep an eye out in the future for any perhaps
Mobbusters?
maybe future giveaways.
Maybe if
maybe.
we hit like 800 followers.
Look, that's not far away. We're at 778 at the
That's
moment. We've got 22 followers on Twitter until 800. So maybe then we can
22.
yeah, maybe then we can do something else for everybody.
We're actually at 780.
Oh wow! Okay, 20. That's jumped. Thank you, everybody. Have a lovely night, and we'll see you all next week. If you want to support us in any way, you're more than welcome to subscribe, and we'll be eternally grateful.
Yes.
And we'll see you all next week.
We
Congratulations.
internally
Thanks so much,
grateful.
guys.
Then bedazzles.
See you later.
See ya.
Next Tuesday.